I am fantastic. Life is all right and good, and I actually got some rain here today. It rarely rains, and sometimes I miss it. And I got rain today. I got to go out in it. It was fantastic. Great to be here with you both.
Not much. I didn't have an exciting frolic in the rain. I worked and then I came home, ate, and took a nap, and here I am. So sorry. All good. 75.
I started watching the first video. I'm 2 hours in, so I'm a
Nice.
little behind. I'm
Right?
watching.
Yeah. It's a. All right.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Mm. Frank? I'm being told that your voice isn't hearable on the stream. Yes, I'm
Jack!
listening. Yeah, I'm not hearing you on the stream. Well, I will do that. Thank you, Corey, for telling me. So the first topic we're going to talk about, and I'm going to mute the YouTube before I do, so I don't hear myself. Ewan McGregor has an official date to return to the Star Wars galaxy. His new Disney Plus series, Obi-Wan Kenobi, very original title, will debut May 25th. Very special date. Disney announced Wednesday. Obi-Wan Kenobi is set 10 years after the events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith from 2005, which saw McGregor's Jedi Knight Kenobi go into hiding after the fall of the Galactic Republic. Hayden Christensen returns to play Darth Vader along with Joel Edgerton, I'm going to say this wrong, Kamal Nanjiani, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and several others. Jeremy, we now have a date. What are your thoughts? And isn't that date cool? May 25th.
Yeah. I mean, if you know, you know. I immediately recognized it. A long time ago in a galaxy not so far away in the year of 1977. That's when the original movie came out. When we first saw Obi-Wan Kenobi in the first place. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping, I mean, obligatory sentencing here, but we have to open up. He's back on Tatooine again. We have to open up. He just looks over and goes, "Hello there." if it's not in there at least once, I mean, I might be a little disappointed. Maybe a high ground joke. You know, classic stuff. You got to cover it all.
There's so many opportunities for moments like that. And
oh yeah.
I hope, but the thing is, I hope they don't go so campy with it that that's all it is. I hope they actually give us a side of the story that we never got.
Cool. I mean, you know, because if we're gonna bring in, because I mean, what I've always, it's just one of those things where you hear about it in conversation, like Yoda talking to Obi-Wan, like, "Hey, we had an old friend return from the netherworld of the Force," which is actually pretty. I don't know if anyone really realizes how big that is. Like the fact that they learned how to do that. Like really, the only Jedi's that learned how to become part of the Force in that capacity as a Force ghost is Qui-Gon learned how to do it first. So I'm fingers crossed. I hope we see Liam Neeson at least once. I mean, they're not going to flat out say it, but if we just see him at least once as a Force ghost talking to him and Yoda teaching Obi-Wan the same thing, because like really that little shot of them at the end of Return of the Jedi. I don't know why I was stopping myself. I mean, those are the only ones that really learn how to become a Force ghost, you know. So that's a pretty important deal that he learned. Like he learns how to do that while he's watching over Luke at the same time. So it's pretty cool. And I don't know who better than Ewan McGregor, because when they first cast him, they were like, especially in episode 3, they lined up him and Alec Guinness's face, and they're like that weird little triangle, like that little zone right here. They lined it up. They're like it's very, very scary close. So like you could believe this guy.
I never thought of them looking a lot alike until you just said that.
Yeah, like think him from the third movie with that beard and that little parted hairdo he's got. Just kind of age him a little bit, and you could just believe that he became Alec Guinness's character in the original movie. It's wild.
Yeah,
I love that.
Who's he related to again?
I was gonna say that's the Wedge. Yeah, the guy who played Wedge in the original trilogy. That was his uncle in real life. So it was kind of cool. He's like, I remember going to theater and going to see Uncle what's his name play in the movie. And another weird tidbit is Ewan McGregor's brother in real life is in the Royal Air Force, and his call sign is Obi-2, which is hilarious.
I knew that.
I absolutely love that fact.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Look, there's a whole lot of stories you can tell between when let me turn my levels down a bit. Between when they drop Luke off with his aunt and uncle on Tatooine to when we catch up with everybody in the very first film, episode 4. So, I mean, I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff that you can tell. I'm interested to see how they work Darth Vader into this whole thing, because we all know that Anakin himself, Hayden Christensen's going to have a part in the series. I don't know how they're going to make that work, if they're going to have any scenes together or not, because, I mean, the idea that we were given in the first film was that they have not been around each other since that moment on, what's the name of the planet? What was it?
Mustafar,
yeah. So I don't know how they're going to make that work, but I'm interested to see them try. I mean, they've been hitting home runs like crazy with all the stuff they've had up on Disney Plus. Boba Fett, even though it's been weird, wonky, and narratively kind of all over the place, I still think it's been very enjoyable. And obviously, The Mandalorian's been killing it. We've got what's it coming out? The Cassian Andor series that's coming out, and then of course Ahsoka, which is in the casting stage still, but that's coming. Yeah, I'm really excited. And to top it off, I mean, we're getting him back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're getting Ewan McGregor back, which is one of the things that everybody loves. Everybody loves about the prequel trilogy. Like, not one person. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like the prequel trilogy. I have come to appreciate it over time, but it's not the best. But I mean, that's the one thing that everybody loves about the prequel trilogy is Ewan McGregor's portrayal of the young Obi-Wan Kenobi. So yeah, I'm excited as hell. Cora, how familiar are you with like even the prequel trilogy and any of this, and kind of his portrayal of the character?
I'm a pretty big Star Wars nerd. Yeah. I liked his character quite a bit, more than probably Hayden Christensen's, portrayal of his two parts. But I think they should have done this earlier. Obi-Wan way earlier, but I'm glad they're doing it now.
Well, it's something that's been talked about for a long, long time. I mean, way before Lucasfilm was bought by Disney, there was this talk about doing like a series of films surrounding Obi-Wan Kenobi, or at least one film. There was talks of a TV show that was going to be on ABC years ago that just never materialized. But I think this is the perfect place for it. I think now with Filoni and what's his name, Jon Favreau, doing such a great job with some of the Star Wars-based stuff, I think now's the perfect time for them to do this. I think this is the genesis that we needed. I think it's going to be better now than it ever would have been had they done a movie 15 years ago or a TV show on ABC a long time ago. I think right now, creatively, is the best time to do this. And I'm excited. I think it's going to be, as a Star Wars fan, I'm going to love this shit. I'm really, really excited for it.
That's why I keep seeing that meme on Facebook now of... It's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. It's just them sitting there, and then below it is a Black Panther. He's like, "Get these men more Star Wars stories." I'm like right.
Well, they do need to make some money after paying who knows what they did to, Lucas to get Star Wars. So
I don't know. They made him like the third or fourth richest man in the world.
Yeah.
He already was swimming in dough, but man, they still haven't officially released the amount. But I mean, I know what I've heard, and that was not a small check to write.
What did you? What do you really think it was that they paid him.
Well, all told, it's really hard to make a good estimate. I'm sure there's probably some stock. There was there was a bunch of upfront money. There was some stock. There was some back end money. All told, it's going to be in the. I think it'll probably between the $3 and $5 billion range when all's told. I mean,
I would have guessed $5 billion. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think it's going to be around. It could be around there, all told. I mean, like I said, a little bit was in stock, a little bit was money up front. Probably part of it was in some kind of payments. Not to mention, he owns the patent on a few of the special effects techniques that were used to make Star Wars. And ended up becoming regularly used tactics in movies. All over. So.
Didn't he create a whole separate special effects studio? I forget what it was called.
ILM,
Correct.
Yeah. Industrial Light and Magic. I mean, they do sound mixing. They do special effects for almost every. They do all the effects stuff for Marvel. Even before Marvel was bought by Disney, they do all that stuff.
Yeah, ILM is everywhere, man. That's what's cool.
And they don't do just heavy special effects in movies. They do a lot of regular rom-coms and stuff too. A lot of sound mixing and things like that. So they're constantly killing it. But. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be fun. Like I said, these guys are just creatively they're hitting their stride right now with this kind of ancillary stuff with these characters that are not like the big three in Star Wars. So, yeah, bring it on. I'm ready. But anyway, we care about what you guys think. Go down in the comments below and let us know. Are you guys excited to see? And I didn't even put the Obi-Wan graphic up because I was way ahead of myself. There it is right there. If you guys are excited to see Obi-Wan on the small screen on Disney Plus, go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think. Lady Cora, what is the next story we're talking about today?
One I'm really excited to talk about. Much has changed since Jurassic Park first opened its doors, but the trailer for the 6th installment in the franchise contains at least one enduring constant. Laura Dern in a salmon-colored button-down shirt tied at the waist. I didn't write that. Yes, Dr. Ellie Sattler is back in the first official trailer for Jurassic World Dominion, the final chapter of the Jurassic World trilogy released on Thursday. And she's brought along a few friends with her, including paleontologist Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, and math whiz Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum, reuniting the core trio after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The world has been overtaken by dinosaurs, and humans are attempting to live alongside the chomp-happy creatures. But soon it becomes abundantly clear once again that genetically resurrecting an extinct and deadly species was an all-around bad idea. Well said. Frank, what did you think of the first official trailer for Jurassic Park Dominion?
I was stoked. I thought it looked fun. For one, I really like the images up on the screen right now. When it says it just mixes the old with the new. I think this image right here is probably one of the ones that I like the most from the trailer. But
it's like a mirror.
Yeah, but
if you look at it,
it does. There is this weird symmetry to it all. But yeah, I'm really excited. Look, the first Jurassic Park is maybe one of the best movies ever made. I mean, by any metric. It's Spielberg. It's a bunch of great acting and all that. Towards the end, when you get to the third and fourth movie, it starts to wane a bit. But there's a reimagining of the whole situation that happened with Jurassic World, and then eventually Jurassic World. What was it? Lost World, the second one that came out.
Yeah.
I really liked what they did with it. I mean, I like the idea that the concept worked, because I've said it 100 times. If you think about it. The entire thing that John Hammond was doing in the first movie probably would have worked just fine were it not for that fat fuck Dennis Nedry being a greedy asshole.
Dennis.
If he doesn't do the shit that he does, that whole thing probably might work. I mean, with the exception of the storm rolling through there and kind of delaying things, that whole thing probably works.
Oh, boy.
So to see it actually come to fruition and become what he envisioned it to be was kind of fun. But then, of course, inevitably it goes wrong for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it's a movie and it has to have a plot. And number two is because, trying to recreate giant man-eating monsters is probably not the smartest idea in the world long term. But I love the way that they've approached it all in these last couple of movies. I mean, they've added the right star power with Chris
Pratt.
Chris Pratt and with Dallas Bryce
Howard.
Yeah. And bringing back the original three to kind of meld these generations together. I mean, it's like I said, nostalgia is great if it's done right. If nostalgia is overdone or if you rely on it, it can be kind of a bummer. But if it's done right, it can be magical and it can work great. It can really enhance the story. And it looks like so far in the trailer that it's the nostalgia done right. Now, we could see the movie, and this movie could be a steaming pile of dog shit. I mean, but right now,
Let's hope
as
not.
I sit here and look at this trailer, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident it's all going to work. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, initially, I mean, I saw that image, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. They're all there. They're all in the same frame. You can't tell me like, oh, he felt that Ian Malcolm filmed at this part, or Sam Neill's filming it. No. They're all together, and we're here. We're in it. Made me so happy. I mean, I appreciate the use of Attenborough's voice in the beginning when he was talking from the first movie to Ellie Sattler. He's like, I wanted something they could touch, something they could see, and I love that they still use his little lines. And yeah, it just I don't know. I asked my buddy who I don't know why I thought he wouldn't have seen this. He's like the biggest Jurassic Park fan. If he saw the trailer, he's like, yeah, in all caps. He's like, yeah, only like 9 times now. No, that was today. And I'm like, man, I was putting all caps. I'm like, please tell me Ellie and fucking Alan are together, because damn it, you broke my heart in the 3rd movie. Oh my god, like my heart just melted. I saw the two of them, and they're like, she's like Ellie, he's like Alan Grant. I'm like, oh come on, oh come on. But
that was a bit of a bummer. I was like, really? I saw them there playing with a kid. I was like, oh, is that their son? And then it's like, no. Your dream was shot down.
I look like Frank always says. I watch movies to escape real life. That was just too real for me. I'm like, they didn't have together. Like I know, but I just
too much of a realistic ending for me.
I just wanted them to. Damn it! You can't tell me. The chemistry is it's there. Although, like I said, my friend said, I don't know if this is true or not, but which seems to be the course for most of this stuff now. I think he said the other two aren't considered canon, like Lost World and 3. I'm like, if that's the case, I'm like, ooh, then that means they never split up. Grant might have a chance.
Well, I mean, they can be canon, just not mentioned. You can just not pay attention to the events of those movies and be just fine.
Well, I think that's what most people do. I mean, 2 is pretty good. I mean, because it's Jeff Goldblum. You can't go wrong. In a movie about an island full of dinosaurs, whatever. And I think I've started to wane back the other way, but I had a weird unpopular opinion. I actually liked 3, like when I was younger. I realize now. I know. I realize now. I'm like, okay, it's not great. Maybe it was because at that time I liked Alan Grant. Like he was my favorite character, so I was like, "Oh, cool! This is like he's in this movie. This is mainly his movie." Maybe that's why. I know it's a little goofy, but I mean now, you can't really see him, but he's up there. I mean, Ian Malcolm's up there on the top shelf of my pops. So I mean, God, you see him he's in the black. He's got the glasses. You just can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that man. I'm telling you what.
You just wait for him to ask about if you need an apartment, right?
Yeah, apartments.com or if you or whatever the world is according to Jeff Goldblum. That show's come back. Yeah, no, I'm excited. There is a prologue trailer which I didn't know about. My friend sent me that. There was a prologue trailer to this, which is really cool. It's just CGI, like it's obviously in the time of dinosaurs. You see the little mosquito going up to it, like, yeah,
it came out a while ago. I watched it. I thought about doing like a review thing of it, but I just ended up not doing it because I just kind of forgot about it and got busy. But yeah, it was really fun to watch.
We can mention him, and yeah, you see it, and I mean, that's just a meme I love is the Leonardo DiCaprio where he's going like look at the screen, look, like doing that. I'm like, yeah, like there's the mosquito, holy shit. It's just a nice little. And you get a little dino fight with the, it looked like a Carnotaur and a T-Rex. And then, like, as soon as the, T-Rex goes down, the mosquito does its thing. And then it just jumps 65 million years later. I'm like, we're in it, we're doing it. And then they're chasing down the Rex, which I don't know if it's, see, that's the other obligatory thing about this movie. I'm like, please show us the Rex, like the actual OG Rex. And she's been around, since the first. I don't know if that was supposed to be her or not. So, but I mean, I hope she's in there, and I know she, you gotta do the cool thing. She's up against the drive-in movie theater and just does the little Godzilla moment. Gotta have that, and yeah, and the guy's like, "Well, she can't run forever." I'm like, "You want to bet?" Also, Blue is a mother.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
this is a little baby.
You don't open up and that's the first little frame. I like double taked. I'm like, wait, that's a little blue.
I'm so glad you said that because
Oh.
I hated velociraptors. I used to have nightmares about velociraptors when I was a kid after seeing the Jurassic Park movies.
Those things are terrifying.
I know, but then after seeing Jurassic World and Blue, I switched teams. I'm Team Velociraptor or Team Blue.
Blue.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they seem to be keeping Blue and Blue's offspring as like pets. That's kind of like
my concern
seems to be
is
where they're at is they're trying to hide Blue from the people who are hunting dinosaurs. Which I'm kind of thinking to myself, you managed to tame this Velociraptor. That's a little odd, but I'll put that aside if it works in the movie.
I worry though that she has a kid because she's going to end up dead, and the kid's going to be the legacy of Blue.
Yeah, now I'm worried.
Blue die.
You know what though? As long as it's an honorable, emotional death, it's
maybe Blue will save his life from another dinosaur, and he saves the baby.
Maybe.
You know.
I mean, I don't know how long because remember they say. I mean, the whole point is like I guess I know it's first of all you have to suspend your disbelief that it's dinosaurs. You know, genetically, we genetically brought back dinosaurs, whatever. But the point was, they're just animals like anything else. Like Chris Pratt was saying, like, well, yeah, you can train them. They're, you just got to figure out how to navigate them. Like I said, I don't know if he's seen Blue's little baby raptor since it was born, because like the point was with Blue, he knew her from when she was an egg too, because he imprinted onto her when she was born. That's why they trust him. So I don't know. I don't know if that's, you can still kind of break through, or like, since Blue is still imprinted onto Chris Pratt's character, maybe she communicates to her young, like, hey, this guy's cool, like don't eat them, please. So we still got a motorcycle raptor bro scene. That was kind of cool.
But I'm sure he wouldn't keep a dog or a cat, knowing Blue would.
Dude, if you had a velociraptor, shit, I would keep that. I've played the video game Ark. Shit, I want a pet raptor. I have a curse. Every time I try to tame a raptor, something kills me and or it like immediately after. I don't know why this game has like some sort of vendetta against me. Like I can't have a pet raptor. It's pissing me off. But
I will say this, Jeremy. If I had a velociraptor, I would need far less firearms.
So she's more of the Vincent D'Onofrio character, where it's like, hey, we're gonna weaponize these motherfuckers.
If you could train your raptor to be like, sick him. Sick him.
I mean, yeah.
If I could train my raptor to work like that, I probably wouldn't need a gun.
Instead of Dr. Evil wanting sharks with laser beams, I want a fucking raptor squad with laser beams in their heads.
Some people have German shepherds. I have a velociraptor. Fuck with me.
Freaking raptors with laser beams attached to their friggin' heads.
Yes.
Actually, it reminds me of the cover. That's the cover of the Ark video game. It's a girl like riding. She's got a saddle. She's riding on a velociraptor, holding it with one hand. She's got a gun up in the other hand like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Because you can just ride these dinosaurs everywhere, and you can like command them and shit, and program them to follow you or to attack. Like you could do the Raptor Squad thing. Like you could have one. You could command your other ones to like run with you and shit. It's a cool game. It helps. Yeah. Until there's, like I said, there's some T-Rex that has no business being on the actual beach because they're supposed to be in the center parts of the island. This fucker chased me. I was 10 feet from my base, and this bitch, it bit me, and I was like, I just crossed the threshold. I was so close to my base, and this bitch just bit me and killed me. I was like, well...
I sense angry, nerdy Jeremy is about to join us. Like, it's right there.
Like, that game is relentless to begin with, but I mean, man, there was no reason. I knew I was playing with fire because I went in there to see, what's the Rex doing? And, because I actually had a bird, like a pterodactyl or of some sort trained. So I was riding on it. I was flying. It was kind of cool. I landed her in a tree, and I got down, and then it chased me all the way. I couldn't, like, call her in time, so I ran all the way back to my base, which wasn't that far. It was right upriver.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked, and I just turned around, and there it was, and it killed me. And then it's like, this game knows to be an ass. Because it didn't kill my bird, which was weird. So I'm like, crap, I have to go back for her. It like waited, because I built up. I'm like, okay, I got to get more stuff. I got to get my stuff back. I got to craft more stuff. Okay, good. I start running, and then it said it killed it. And I'm like, yeah, It could have killed it at any moment. All that time I was spent prepping. And as soon as I start to walk back up the river to go get it fucking killed it. Yanked it out of the tree. I was like, okay. Whatever.
If I had a raptor, I'd send it after Casey is raw. Oh, hey, Casey, I didn't see you in the chat there, buddy. How's it going?
We got Randy Viper in the house too. Wow.
I know. I was just about to go shout out the chat. It's something I haven't been doing much the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to try to get back into it. But yeah, we got, let's see, Casey is Raw, Randy is Viper. What's going on, man? JC is Foot Rub. Woo! What's up, brother? What's going on with you? Jeremy's mom was also in the chat. You see BJ Wolner in there. Hello, Jeremy's mom. You are a fan of Downton Abbey just like Cora and I. Yes, I have this weird fascination with British aristocracy, and I'm a fan of the show. We have some Downton Abbey content coming up here in the next few months in the lead up to the release of the new film. So hopefully you'll come back and check that out. Alex in the Garbage Man, what's going on, guys? His stream is probably going to be starting here shortly. Link to his description in the chat below. Go watch him later on tonight as well. Also, Stream Element. Let's see, Corey Warbridge. I think you're new. It's one of Jeremy's.
Actually, it's mine.
Oh, one of yours. Okay, I knew it was somebody's friend. Welcome. Yes. Also into a couple of new subscribers. Thanks, guys, for coming and checking us out. We appreciate it. But, yeah, it's all about what you guys think, so go down in the comments below and let us know. Are you guys excited for Jurassic World Domination? The trailer dropped this morning. I actually watched it right before I jumped on the call with these guys, and it's still exciting. I'll put the image back up here because as soon as I can find it, it looks dope as hell. Just seeing the original crew and the new crew right there, I just love it. I think it's going to be fun as hell to watch. I so very badly want one of those like staffs that John Hammond carried with the piece of amber with the mosquito in it. I so badly want one of those. I know they have them. You can find like ones that are they're novelties. They're fake. Obviously, they're not real. I want a real one. I want a real piece of amber with a mosquito from like a bajillion years ago in it. I don't care how much it costs me. I'm gonna have to come across one of those eventually.
And then in about 20 years' time, we start seeing dinosaurs running around. We're like, "Damn it, Frank!
Damn it, Frank! What the hell did you do? You knew it was a bad idea. You just said it was a bad idea."
Wait a minute. I'll have to do the Ian Malcolm. Like, you were so preoccupied with where you didn't stop thinking if you should.
Well, that's gonna be my excuse. And be like, well, life found a way.
Okay.
Life found a way.
I'm hoping that, like, also, I wanted to make this joke. I'm like, you know what? I hope that scene that we saw in the trailer, I hope that wasn't their only fucking parts in the movie. We'll do that again.
Dude, if that ends up the case, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I'm
going to
throw
throw my popcorn and my drink at the screen. I'm going to be pissed.
Right.
I got to say something real quick. One of my friends who's listening, her name's Vanessa. She just told me, shout out to Vanessa. She just told me in text that the Jurassic World movie was filmed in her area and some of the crew came into her work while they were filming.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the fun things about growing up in California is they filmed a bunch of stuff in my hometown. So if you could just go look it up, I mean, they filmed Clint Eastwood filmed a couple of Dirty Harry movies there. The Lost Boys obviously is the most famous thing that got filmed there. There's been a bunch of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of cool to just kind of watch the process. I think it's probably one of the things that that really got me into just movies. Period, was watching movies being made from so many different things.
Well, if I ever actually get around to editing the thing, I mean, they filmed Shawshank Redemption here, and I totally went to see it, and I cannot do it on my phone for some dumb reason. I couldn't. I mean, I was away on a trip. I was in Tennessee. I thought, well, I got time to dick around. I tried to edit on my phone, and every time I tried to do some, I wanted to push it all together into one film clip so I could just start chopping it up. Since I'm dumb and don't know how to use my camera. Yeah, it was a couple. I forgot. Oh yeah, don't start and stop it. Just like start it, pause it, start, record again, pause. I didn't realize that, but my phone would just stop after loading at about so many percent and whatever. So I may have to do it on my computer if I ever get that done. I may. It was Frank's talking about throwing popcorn. I'm like, I may just throw popcorn at the screen because that little girl. Because fuck that little girl. I can't. Sorry. If we want to talk about stuff that I fucking absolutely hate from this movie, is that damn little girl. I'm sorry. It's not even like, fuck them kids. No. That child infuriates. I know when you're trying to make a character that purposefully infuriates you, but that's not supposed to be the case. And this child infuriates the shit out of me. First of all, I mean, I know we're trying to, oh yeah, we can totally like clone people, like completely. And she's a clone. I'm like, look, I'll watch Star Wars if I want to do that. But like, that's what Boba Fett is. He's just a genetic clone of Jango Fett. But
yeah.
But what? And then the whole, oh well, they're alive just like me. Release all the dinosaurs. I'm like, what the f*** are you doing? I know we have to have another movie, but like, I know the catalyst of, oh, the vents are broken. They can't. The gas is coming in. The dinosaurs are gonna die because Blue had to go and blow shit up. But Blue's awesome, so you leave her alone. But they're like, oh, they're gonna die, they're gonna choke. So why do you have two separate buttons? Because this is like almost dumb movie levels of stuff. They have one button to open the cages, let all the dinosaurs out. Now they're trampling over each other. They're still choking in the gas. And then they're like, should I open the door? There's no way back from this. And Bryce Dallas Howard's like, I can't do it. Then this little girl walks up, hits the button. I'm like, you bitch! What? Here's my thing. Why didn't you just open the fucking door? It will vent out. Jesus, you could have kept the dinosaurs locked up and just vented out the room by opening the main door. Now, while I am all for this, I saw this and was excited because I want to see dinosaurs and humans, well, coexisting, but also, that's not really a coexisting thing you want to have happen. But damn it. Although, my friend brought up a good point. He's like, although they wouldn't have stopped that guy who grabbed that, was it the tooth or something that he took for the Indominus Rex? Was that like the rich guy tried to like run out with the little sample of it or something and he got like smushed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so maybe that is kind of a reason why. He's like, well, because then he would have had that sample and would have done God knows what with it. We did see Dr. Wu again, so I mean, he, as my friend put it, looking like a soccer dad. And like, look, it's probably been a rough couple years living in Dino World. So I don't know what you want from him.
You should check your Twitter DMs or group one. My friend Corey found something for you on Etsy. It's the mosquito in the amber.
Ooh, I may have to go check that out. I know I've seen them online before. I just there's some of them are like stupid expensive. I would never pay that much money, and some of them are.
It was less than 300.
Oh well, hey, that's something.
Do you think maybe you could do a? Well, I don't know how you do the mosquito part, but you could do like a little colored resin or something and make a little cast of it.
Yeah,
maybe. You could do something
I'm sure
like that.
That's all it is. I'm sure it's fake as shit, but I mean, whatever. It'd be a cool piece just to have. You know what I mean? Especially if I get a chance to do some of the things with like a studio area, like I'm hoping to get to do in the next year or so. I think it'd be cool to have that kind of thing like hanging on the wall behind me or something like that. But anyway, since Jeremy's done with his soliloquy of everything he finds wrong with Jurassic Park and the entire universe,
I'm done. I'm good. I've said my qualms with this movie. It's overall positive. Just believe me. I can't with that little girl. I'm sorry. Whatever.
Obviously, we care about what you guys think. So go down in the comments below and let us know. Are you guys excited for Jurassic World Dominion? The trailer dropped today, and I thought it was awfully exciting. I think you guys are going to like it as well.
The music was good too, by the way.
I did like the music.
Yeah.
There is something really cool about that theme. About
Wait a minute.
The new Jurassic logo.
Speaking of which,
the yellow.
Isn't it John Williams' birthday today?
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. So hey. Thank him.
90 years old, man. One of the greatest musical minds that ever walked the face of the earth.
I was like, and he is 90 years old, and my God, he's kicking it.
All those things are him. Yeah, I read this article yesterday about his birthday. Talk about how Spielberg thought that the Jaws theme was stupid when you first heard it. but now, as soon as you hear that dun-dun, it's like immediately your senses start to heighten. You're like, wait a minute, what's going to happen? Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Hey, he turned him onto it. He's like, wait, just hold it. Hear me out. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, he's like, yes, that.
Like, okay, the second half of it sells me.
That's what I'm saying. This man didn't do, Jaws, Superman, Star Wars, Harry Potter, for nothing. I mean, come on. There's a reason why he's as legendary as he is.
No doubt. One of the greatest musical minds since Mozart. That guy's put together. I mean, think about the number of, a little sidebar real quick. Think about the number of big-time movie scores, like themes that he's put together, that as soon as you hear the first couple of notes, it takes you to a place or it takes you to a person.
Yeah, like you know what it is.
It's like you know exactly what it is, and it either brings a little bit of fear and a little bit of a smile to your face all at the same time. That's a special individual that can do that.
That's the cool thing about the Jurassic Park theme. Like, it sounds so happy, it sounds so upbeat, but I'm like, yeah, but it's dinosaurs killing people and shit.
Yeah, but there's a T-Rex around the corner, so it's like,
right.
It's a very soothing tune, but it's like, wait a minute, there's a raptor out there somewhere in the woods getting ready to bite my head off.
They're in the tall grass about to jump on you, yeah.
Yeah, and thank you to Casey as Raw for subscribing for the 17 millionth time. I guess he just wanted to see his name.
He just wants to see his name. It's like hearing yourself talk. That's what it is.
Yeah, he likes the sound of his own voice.
Would you like Frank to take away your wrench every time you resubscribe?
I should. It probably hurt his feelings.
You should earn it. Earn it back.
But it does remind me, Casey. Now that I see you in the chat, I actually went today I was playing Fortnite for a little bit today just to kill some time, and I actually bought the black Coruscant skin. So now I was rolling around as the Wookiee murking people on Fortnite for a little while earlier today. I was trying to kill some time. So I have that going for me. But anyway, go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think of all the stuff that we've been talking about the last few minutes. Before we move on, I do want to remind you guys we do have a Patreon. And if you support us for just $5 a month, you get a chance to win $25 a month in free movie tickets to the theater of your choice. Basically, what I do is I just PayPal you $25. You can spend it on whatever the hell you want. But I'd like to see you guys go out to the movie theater. The release slate is filling up now. It's getting more and more filled with a lot of great movies that we've wanted to see. And now, hopefully, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the pandemic. And one of the industries that was affected most by the pandemic was the movie theaters. And all the people that work at the box office, the managers, the people that work at the concession stand, they're all just young kids who are trying to work a job. And they were all really screwed for over the course of the last 18 or 24 months over this pandemic. So really what I want to do is I want to use this as an opportunity to promote you guys to go back out to the theater to support them. Of bucks just to go buy a movie ticket, buy a popcorn, buy a soda, buy a box of candy, and then go sit and enjoy one of the many, many movies that are out in theaters every weekend or even during the week, whenever you go. Just go support your local movie theater every chance you get. And you get a chance to get $25 a month from us just by supporting us on Patreon. If you do that, we'd very much appreciate it. Lady Cora, what is the next story we're talking about tonight?
We are talking about something Randy asked about in the chat. Moonfall director Rowland Emmerich thinks superhero and Star Wars films are ruining the industry. He is among the many actors and directors that have lambasted the state of the movie business because of these types of movies existing. He sat down with Den of Geek. What a weird name for a podcast. And while talking about his newest disaster film, he mentions, because naturally Marvel and DC Comics and Star Wars have pretty much taken over, end quote, he said, quote, it's ruining our industry a little bit because nobody does anything original anymore, end quote. Jeremy, do you agree with Emmerich's comments?
Sounds like, wow, I'm not the one making these movies, man. Look, I like Rowland Emmerich. I'm not gonna. And yeah, you do make good movies, but I'm like, let's see here, guy. What kind of movies do you make? Oh yeah, the world's ending. All right, well, next, are you gonna do anything else? So, I mean, you can't sit here and complain if. No, I'm not saying. Again, I love his movies. He does them well. I mean, I'm interested in this movie. I mean, I love Day After Tomorrow. I like. That was Patriot. That's not a disaster movie, but you know what I mean. I like his movies, but I'm like, well, it's not like you aren't you're a big name in the industry too. I'm like, I don't know, these things sell and they make money, so I'm sorry. I don't know what to really tell you. It's kind of, it'd be like if I was complaining, like, oh god damn it, me and Frank's little low budget horror movie's not doing shit. God damn it, Star Wars, like, or we can compare it to, I don't know, Halloween or Texas Chainsaw. Like, all these big name horror movies are taking over. I'm like, well, no shit. There's a reason. I don't really know what his problem is. Like, dude, you still make good movies. It still makes money, but I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. Have you been doing something as big as Star Wars since the 70s? Comics have been around since the early 30s. Even before that, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like storytelling in that kind of medium. It's a big thing. People love it. It makes money, so I don't. That's kind of the thing right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's bitching, because this movie that he just made, Moonfall, it's being destroyed. I mean, it's not quite the level of the Cats reviews that came out and we all made fun of for like weeks and weeks after that movie came out, but it's not getting good reviews. It's not just not getting good reviews; it's getting pure shit on by a couple of critics, just saying it's so bad. But I mean, he's really only made one kind of film. He's
That's
only
what I'm saying.
Look, let's talk about some of what he's made. Universal Soldier, which is fun. Independence Day 4, Godzilla, Day After Tomorrow, 2012. Midway is actually a really good movie.
Midway's very good.
Let's see. Then he did Moonfall most recently. It's like, and the irony is, who stars in Moonfall?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Moonfall? No, that was Don't Look Up.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
got
The other thing with the shits.
It's got Halle Berry, who played Catwoman, and Patrick Wilson, who played Orn in Aquaman. It's like, so,
Well,
I don't get it. It's like,
at this point, though, who hasn't played in a superhero movie? To be fair,
that's true. But
first of all, fuck the
names?
Catwoman movie. That was bad. We don't talk about that one.
yeah, but look, dude, you've made your career out of making disaster films. That you could very easily say the same thing about the disaster film genre. It's like it's the same thing, just no superpowers. That's all it is. You're doing the same thing, but with no superheroes to save the day. It's just a bunch of smart scientist type that somehow managed to stop the moon from crashing into the Earth or whatever the hell's going on. I haven't seen Moonfall yet, and I was interested to at least go give it a try. But then once the reviews started coming out and it just started getting destroyed, I was like, ugh, is it really that bad? And I may still go see it and do a quick review on it, but I got to be honest. When your movie is getting universally destroyed by everybody, and then you come out afterwards and say, "Oh well, these big budget sci-fi Star Wars superhero movies." I'm like, "What did you just fucking make, bro? What did you just make? You just made the same movie." But because you've got some different characters in it that don't wear capes, it gives you the right to bitch about Star Wars, dude. Think about what George Lucas and Star Wars did for the film industry. Think about what some of these superhero films are doing for the way that stories are crafted. In large, look, we don't just make movies that are one-offs anymore. Nobody makes a movie, and very few people anyway, make movies anymore thinking they're just going to be one movie and then they're going to move on. Everybody's always thinking franchise now. You know why? Because they've crafted good stories. What has Marvel done? They've crafted good stories. Look, Iron Man very easily could have been a shit show. And it could have been terrible. They could have actually cast Tom Cruise in it, and he would have completely fucked up being Tony Stark, and that movie would never have hit the same, and the thing would have died.
Yeah, he would have taken off and been like, "I got a need for speed."
Yeah,
Woo!
but they're doing it right. They're telling really cool stories. They're getting us attached to these characters. I'm so sorry you couldn't get me attached to Patrick Wilson or Halle Berry's characters in this movie. I'm very sorry that you couldn't do that to the general movie-going public. But that's your bad. That's not the fault of George Lucas for creating the Skywalker saga. That's not your fault because Stan Lee created the Marvel comics, and guys like Kevin Feige and Joss Whedon and all these guys came together and built this cool big universe these guys would exist in. It's not their fault. I mean, come on, just get over it. If you look, I hate it when people talk like this, but really, get good. If you're mad because your movie's not doing as well as somebody else's, get good. Instead of shitting on these people, look at them and say, what are they doing that's making this thing successful? Oh yeah, they're giving me intriguing characters. They're giving me intriguing stories. They're writing things very, very well. They're giving me all these reasons to go see these movies. I gave you Moonfall. I gave you My Name because I remember I made that really, really good movie 30 years ago. Remember? Because that's basically what James Cameron is doing right now. Is he's like, oh, go see Avatar because I made a great movie 30 years ago.
Yeah, Titanic.
Yeah, it's like, come on, just stop, dude. Stop blaming other people's successes for your failures. It's the sign of a loser. That's all I'm saying.
It's not, like I said, it's not necessarily like it's a failure. Like I said, I enjoy those movies. I loved, like I said, The Patriot, fucking Independence Day, shit like that. So I mean, like I said, there's a reason why Star Wars is, I mean, even like I said, Marvel and DC, I'll even say, is as big as it is and still continues to be to this day, is because you got a whole universe, the whole thing you can expand on, different stories and shit you can tell. And if you tell them right, like you said, you got a whole universe to stretch your legs out into. I mean, you make a one-off of, oh crap, the Earth's going to blow up again. Okay, we fixed that problem. Nah, all right, cool. I don't know. With the way the movies you make, you can't really do much more than that. Or maybe, you see the repercussions of what happened. I don't know. Maybe the moon crashes into the Earth and, well, that's it. I don't know. Do you notice there's something else that he does in his movies? I can't be the only one who's noticed this. There's always a little, I guess, dynamic is a way to put it, that he always has in his movies. If you ever notice, it's always like a single father who like either is like divorced or the wife died and he's got his kids. It's kind of a weird, strained relationship that he has with. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I think it's a trope that's kind of like his. It's
yeah,
like,
and I mean,
who is it? John Woo always has that one scene where the doves are flying from behind the hero at one point as he's walking on in battle, that kind of thing. I think that's probably. I think it's just one of those tropes that he, for some reason, just always is attracted to.
And like I said, it works. It's I mean, but then I kind of get. Don't fall into the Shyamalan thing where it's like, okay, well, this whole movie, I'm just gonna sit back and be like, well, this is gonna change in the last 3 minutes, so I really don't care. You know, that's not the same thing. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's an interesting relationship to explore in a movie, but I'm like, well, you tell it different ways or in the perspective of the movie, sure. But like I said, I mean, I know Shyamalan's like, well, it's cool, this isn't gonna matter at the end, so take it all with a grain of salt. And you fucked yourself over by doing that every single time. You made The Sixth Sense amazing movie, amazing twist, holy shit. But you can't keep doing that because then people are just gonna be like, okay, well.
Because then people are looking for it.
Yeah, and then speaking of Avatar, you fucked that up hard, and you lost all respect from me. I went into that movie excited as shit because I love the animated series, and I walked out of that theater like, what the fuck was that? you just shit all over that movie.
Well, in Shyamalan's defense, I heard there was a lot of licensing stuff that went on there that made him change a lot of stuff that he wanted to do. So I'll defend him on that. But I can't defend him on much else for that movie.
No.
To be honest, so.
I was like, I'll let you have that, but you can't really defend him on anything else. You gotta admit. God.
Well, he couldn't call it Avatar because at the time, I think they had started production on the Avatar film that Cameron did. So he didn't want to have two different movies called Avatar, so he had to call it The Last Airbender and not use the Avatar name.
Well, no, that was what it was called originally. I mean, that's what the show was called, Avatar: Last Airbender. So I'm like, that's great, but God, man, you had the material there. How do you fuck that up? Jesus.
He found a way. Shyamalan found a way.
Yeah, he did. One of my favorite little things is like, there's a guy I watch. I think I've shown him to you, Frank. He reviews like bad movies and shit, and a couple of them are Shyamalan movies. And there was like an interview with him. I don't know who he's talking to. Shyamalan's like, it's like, I don't know what's going on with me and the critics, man. And the lady you can tell is trying to just be professional. She's like, oh, they just don't get you. He's like, yeah, they just don't get me. I'm like, no, I think we do. You suck. And he's talking about like, oh, my movies have a different pace to them, like a European style of movies. Like Americans, they want like action, they want fuel. I'm like, yeah, but maybe I'm weird because you too. You like just slow burns. You build up to something and then, holy shit, have that moment at the end. He's like, yeah, I took my movie over to like Japan and he's like, my movie here got like destroyed by critics. I took it over there and they were like, genius. And it just cuts to him and he just starts laughing his ass off and just walks away off camera. He's like, oh my God, oh shit, oh Jesus. And he walks away. Yeah. He tried to compare himself to like, oh, I like Akira Kurosawa and, people like Hitchcock. And he's like, how fucking dare you compare yourself to them? He's like, they made awesome shit. You made The Happening. And Mark Wahlberg said The Happening sucked. He gets repulsed. He's like, and it was a story movie. I'm like, right.
The meme of him with that confused face is still floating around Facebook in uniforms. He's like,
what? No. Yeah, that.
Yeah,
you trying to kill me? No.
Hey, the hell of it all is like, look, Emmerich's made good movies. Look, I still think Independence Day is one of the top 10 movies ever made. It's one of the few movies. It's one of the few movies that transcends generations because there's something about it that is different. It's special. It was new. I mean, there had been Death to the World movies before, but it's like that guy took it to a whole new level. He brought it into the modern day in a way and in a spectacle that had never been done before. But at the same time, it's like, you've got to understand that there's always a next step. And the next step's just gotten past what you did. Like I said, I loved Independence Day, hated Independence Day Regurgence, or whatever the hell the name of the movie was. It was just not good. Poorly executed, no Will Smith. I was like, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. But I mean, and then Godzilla, look, and I even defend him with that Godzilla movie that he made. I thought that was a movie to watch. Now, was it a great Godzilla movie? No. But was it a fun movie just to turn your brain off and just let it wash over you? Oh, yeah. And there was plenty of good actors in that movie to make that movie fun. But, yeah, and then like Day After Tomorrow in 2012, yeah, I mean, the end of the world apocalyptic movies are fun, but again, they get a little tired after a while because there's so many ways you can destroy the Earth without people getting kind of bored. It's like, oh, gee, another comet is coming to destroy the world. Oh, no, whatever we're going to do. We've become so desensitized to even the concept of the world being destroyed in a moment's notice, we just don't even care anymore. But,
yeah, if I see a Death Star looming over in the sky, I'm be like, well, fuck. We had a good time.
It was a good run, Earth. It was a good run. Let's all just drink. Let's all drink and just say goodbye.
Well, it's been fun.
But
It's
yeah.
okay. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos will just set up a moon base for all their friends.
The Moon and Mars.
For
The faster the better. Let's get there.
For themselves is correct.
Yeah, they can film the next Fast and the Furious movie on the fucking surface of Mars. Why not?
Let 'em. Go ahead. Even Diesel's ass there. Maybe won't see Fast and Furious 87. Got some Gnostics up to my fucking what is it? I got some Gnostics up to my little cart. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a little dune buggy.
But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. I like I said, I don't like it when people do this. Look, who was it? Scorsese said shit like this a while back and caught a lot of shit for it. I'm like, look, dude. For one, Scorsese doesn't make these kinds of movies. I don't understand why he was complaining because the movies that Scorsese makes and the movies that are made in the MCU or Star Wars or whatever aren't the same thing. I think they're just in a different league, but I mean, whatever. I would almost accept it from him, but I'm like, really? Rowland Emmerich, who essentially has been making movies just like this for 30 years? I'm like, dude, shut up and work on your script because it needed a little bit of work in this last go round. That's all I'm saying. But maybe I'll pop into the theater and see Moonfall and do a quick review of it, like I usually do when I'm standing out front of the theater. But it's not looking good.
Or in your car.
There's a reason that I put that Rotten Tomatoes splat on his forehead right there in that picture.
That was nice. It's a nice touch.
I think the Rotten Tomato score is somewhere in the 30s right now, which is not like overly terrible, but I mean it's not good.
That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all. But go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with Rowland Emmerich? Do you think that Star Wars and all the superhero movies are hurting Hollywood? I personally don't agree with the idea that there's not enough original content. If you go right now, pull up Fandango or your app for whatever theater you go to on your phone and look at all the movies that are showing, you're going to see a lot of fresh stuff there that is, I mean, it's just not $250 million budget movies. It's like there's a lot of movies. Look,
Unless you want to talk about the new Mission Impossible, the budget is like, what was it, like $400 or $500 million or something?
Probably something outrageous. I don't know. Probably Tom Cruise. Half of that was probably Tom Cruise's salary. Yeah, it's like, look, I think our next topic, we're going to point out a couple of movies that are low budget original things, and they've been nominated for Best Picture. So it's like, what do you want? I mean, there's stuff out there you have to go look for. You have to want to go see it. It's like the casual fans, they all want to go see the MCU, the DC stuff, Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever. They want to go see the big budget stuff. But there's a lot of people out there that like to go to the movies and just watch that $8 million movie that was made for bus fare. You know, they like to go see those during the day. It's a nice little thing to go do as a date movie or just to spend some time alone and watch a movie, eat some popcorn, just have some fun. Those movies are out there. You have to go find them. And just because you're not going to buy tickets don't mean they're not getting made. So don't bitch about this and then not go buy tickets to anything that doesn't say Marvel on the front of it. You know what I mean?
You know, a good point. I was just thinking of one of my favorite, I can't say new, but one of my favorite directors of the last, like, say, 10 years or so is, wow, I was doing that and I fucking just forgot his name. Christopher Nolan. Sorry. My mind was in Batman because that was my first point. I'm like, look, Christopher Nolan, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to make that kind of movie. Like, just, I don't want to call him, like, I mean, unoriginal, but we were just talking about he makes disaster movies, which is great, cool. But you can make original shit if, you know, you got the imagination for it. And I was like, well, what are you going to say about him? I like Christopher Nolan because he makes original shit. Now, yes, he did dip into the superhero thing, and he did the Dark Knight trilogy. It was fucking amazing.
But the way he did it was very grounded. He didn't do it like a superhero movie.
Yeah, like he did it in his own way, which is cool because that's his thing. He does things practical. And that's not an original thing, but I mean, you know, then he's gone off and done shit like Inception. He's done Tenet. You know, you can make these wild. I love that movie. Shut up.
Oh. We finally have the moment where you tell me to shut up.
No. Well, no, it's. I thought it was fucking cool. It's just weird, mind-bendy shit. Now, I mean, Inception came out and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't understand it. Oh my god, it's confusing. Oh, it's great. The hype." I watched it once and I was like, I understood every bit of that. Really? Now I'm like, Tenet is the one that actually like fucked with my head. The way I think everyone seemed to. I think that's what everyone seemed to think about Inception. Now I'm like, that's not as bad as you. I mean, Christopher Nolan might have been like, "All right, hold my beer. Watch this." You know. I don't know. You can make original things and your own interesting kind of stories, but I'm like, you can't tell me that guy didn't do both. He dipped into the superhero thing, which is a big, and it worked, and then he's gone off and done his own thing. That's what you need to do. I mean, if you want to reinvent yourself, do something, just take a chance, do something different, something that you want to make. Just, I don't know, make it. See what happens.
Budget horror movie.
Hey, look.
I think
we don't have that kind of money.
I think Rowland Emmerich probably fucking sent an email or a text message to the fucking Kevin Feige. He was like, "Hey, so you need any directors for the next MCU movie?" He's like, "Don't call us, we'll call you." He's like, "Didn't you just make Moonfall?" Probably not. No, probably.
You meant Moon Knight? No, you made Moonfall. Get out of here.
You made Moonfall. No. We're okay. Go make something decent and we'll talk. Go make 2 movies that actually get critically acclaimed and we'll talk.
See, this is why my mom just said we saw it twice. I'm like, yeah, we went and saw Tenet twice because we were both just like mind blown. And it's kind of one you have to watch a few more times because once you finally understand, you kind of have to watch it again. I would never watch
Tenet again. I wish I didn't watch it the first time. It was just so fucking confusing and no.
That's what I'm saying. I watched it again because then I'm like, oh, now I understand it. And then I honestly had to have people like on YouTube explain it who are bigger brained than me because I'm like, I think I get it, but I don't quite. It's lining up everyone where they're at and how the oh my god, I forgot what it was called. Not the
timeline.
No, the inverted thing, like where they're where it's the backwards thing. Like I kind of understood what it meant and how like Robert Pattinson's character kind of did his thing, like. Reverted himself back and went back through and then tried to, stop, That was fun. And that's a movie, trust me. I mean, if you want any more proof that Robert Pattinson is a fucking phenomenal actor, watch that movie, man. It tugged at my heartstrings. I'm like, I'm in the movie for like 2 hours. And damn it, I can't when he just walks off, smiles. He's like, we're going to get up to some stuff. You'll see. You'll love it. And just walks off. I'm like, no, I know he's going to die. Damn it. Like, I know he's walking away. He knows he's going to die, too. Fuck.
Are you
got me, man. I'm done.
I wanted to let you get that out of your system before you moved on.
No, go ahead. Hey, speaking of, I think I know what this is. We have unboxing.
Well, let's get to. Well, we'll do this before our next topic, real quick. I do want to move on for our next topic before we move on to the home stretch and the Boba Fett talk and the other Sony Spiderverse news that I want to talk about. Lady Cora, what is the next topic we want to talk about before we get to the unboxing?
Well, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has released its nominations for the 2022 Oscars. 10 films are nominated in the category for Best Picture. This year's Best Picture nominees are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Frank, I know how much you love the Oscars. What do you think of these nominees?
Ha 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 ha. Love the Oscars, my ass.
I know.
You took my line. I was gonna be like, why are we doing this? We hate the Oscars.
I know, right?
Me and Aaron sat down and had a 2 or 3 hour long conversation about how useless the fucking Oscars are a couple of years ago. You guys can go back and check that out. Look, I do make it a point, to the best of my ability, to make sure I watch all of the Best Picture nominees every year. So far, the only thing I've seen is Dune.
What about you, Jeremy? How many of these have you seen?
Yeah, I was going to say Dune, same.
Now,
I mean, you can't really ruin West Side Story. It's not like it hasn't been out since, what, the fucking 80s? You can't
60s.
ruin it. 60s, whatever.
Well, I mean, I wanted to go see Belfast, and I never got out to the theater to see it. It was in theaters for like 2 minutes. I don't know why, but I've heard it was actually pretty good. Coda is. I don't have Apple TV Plus. I'm not paying for their streaming service. Don't Look Up. I can watch. I just haven't gotten around to just watching it yet. It's on Netflix. Drive My Car. No interest at all in seeing it. King Richard. I have little interest in seeing it because I'm sure it's just going to be a puff piece. But since it's been nominated, I'll give it a watch. Licorice Pizza and Nightmare Alley. I've heard are very, very good. I just have not had a chance to watch them yet. But I think they're both available on streaming services right now. Power of the Dog. I've not even heard of until I read this article. So I don't know. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's on a streaming service. I'm gonna have to find it. West Side Story. My girlfriend wanted to go see it, and we just never got a chance to go out and watch it. Just we're busy doing stuff. But I'll watch it eventually. So I mean, between now and when the when the Academy Awards take place. I'm going to try to watch at least all of these but Drive My Car, which I'm not interested in. But Dune I really, really like. Don't Look Up has gotten a lot of buzz. Belfast has gotten a lot of really good word of mouth. A lot of people say that's a really good movie. It's directed by Kenneth Branagh, who I love, by the way. Love Kenneth
Nice.
Branagh. And Nightmare Alley looks really, really, really interesting. So I like those really kind of noir period pieces that are real heavy on some dense dialogue. I really like those kinds of movies, so I'll check that out at some point. And Licorice Pizza's gotten a lot of buzz. I mean, that's one of the ones that people were talking about a lot with what's his name, Andrew Garfield. He got a lot of. Actually, I think he may have gotten nominated for Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor, one of the two. I forget, but yeah, I'm gonna go watch at least all this but Drive My Car just so I have a good idea as to what's been nominated for this year. But, again, the Oscars suck, but they tend to nominate good movies for Best Picture. So I'll give them that much, even though they don't usually pick the right one. I don't imagine that Belfast could win. Coda, I think, could win. Don't Look Up, I don't think will. I don't think they're ready to give one of the streaming services a Best Picture Oscar yet. No. I don't think so anyway. Dune, potentially. Drive My Car, don't know. Musicals generally don't.
No.
They don't. I think a lot of the reason why West Side Story got nominated was because it's attached. Spielberg directed it, and you don't really want to. You don't want to have Spielberg put out a couple movies every year and not nominate one of them. Like I said, Power of the Dog. I have no idea anything about that movie. I'll have to look. Nightmare Alley. Again, I've heard a lot of good things. Licorice Pizza has been a great kind of low budget, kind of not. I don't want to call it B-rate, but like a good independent film. And King Richard, it's Will Smith. Will Smith's one of the people that if he makes a good heartfelt movie, he's going to get nominated. I don't know if it'll win or not because I haven't seen it yet, but I don't know. Just right now, like I said, the only thing I've seen is Dune, but I really want to see Belfast, and I have a feeling that once I watch all these movies, that Belfast is going to be one of my favorites. I don't know, Jeremy, what do you think?
I mean, given the only one that I've seen is Dune, I couldn't really tell. I mean, and I've seen A West Side Story, but I don't know, man. Wait a minute. Hold on. You're right. It wasn't the 60s, but didn't they also do it again in the 80s? I swear they did.
Dune?
Maybe.
No, not Dune. Well, yeah, Dune was in the 80s. No, I meant West Side Story.
Oh, no, West Side Story was a musical that... Yeah, it's been done in movie form back in the, I want to say, 60s? Late 60s, early 70s?
But I'm saying, didn't they do it again in the 80s? I swear they did.
Well, it's been a Broadway thing for decades.
True.
So maybe that's what you're thinking of.
The
last
Rent?
one I can think of.
No.
Rent, well, yeah, Rent. But
no, Rent was like early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't think they did an 80s version of it. Not that I can remember. At least not one that was big.
Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I know, again, it's Spielberg. It's brought to the not modern day, but it's prettied up, and it's real over the top. It's we know what it is, and it's just it's done up better than It's, I guess same with Dune. So again, that was in the 80s. It's just prettied up more for the
is when they made the original film.
Yeah, just prettied up more for the modern day, and it's still cool. I liked it. Yeah, I don't know. And then King Richard. I'm like, I know. Yeah, it's Will Smith, and he does, because one of my favorite movies is the one he did with well, hold on. Before I almost said his son, I'm like, well, he did that one After Earth. We're not talking about that piece of shit. No. I'm like, wait. I stopped myself. Like, wait, not that one with his son. That was a fucking terrible movie. He was barely in the movie anyway. Like, fucking, that was just jerking off his son the whole movie. It's like, hey, look at him. He can act, right? Like, no.
Not really.
Jeremy.
The Pursuit of Happiness. Sorry, it took me a second.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's a great movie. It's based on a true story. It's a real kind of tugs at your heartstrings. It's a nice movie. I imagine this is like that. It's a cool story to tell of Venus and Serena Williams and him being the dad. I can see that at least getting mentioned. Licorice Pizza, yeah, it just seems like one of those. I swear to God, it's like, I don't know. It's a weird aesthetic where I'm like, are you just trying to be weird for the sake of being weird? Because I'm like, I don't. What? Where it's almost like over the top. I can understand. I came from this like in your face raunchy shit like South Park and Family Guy, but I'm like, it's a little fucking much and a little overhanded. I know it kind of sounds weird coming from me, but like, I don't know.
I respect it.
It's like, I don't know. weird. And I don't really know anything else about the other ones, so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And I know if I play when you're like, oh, well, who's the Moonfall? Leo. No, that was this one. Oh, sorry, wrong disaster movie. Shit.
Mm.
As we just mentioned, yeah, something's gonna crash to the earth. Oh no. It'd be funny if he like made a sequel or maybe remade Day After Tomorrow, because I'm like, haha, global warming, right? It'd be funny as shit making that movie now instead of back in, what was it, like 2007 or something?
Then we can give a shit and be like, oh, Hollywood's being ruined by all these disaster films, blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know, like I said, the only one I've seen so far is Dune, so I can't really, I can't really comment on too many more of these movies. But I don't know, I'll sit and watch them all, and then maybe right around Oscar time, which I think is coming up in, is either a month or 2 months, I forget.
It's end of February, I thought, that they finish.
Well, I thought they had moved it back a little bit again because of, COVID kind of screwing everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not 100% sure. But maybe right around then, if I can get at least most of these watched, I could give you my pick of these 10, which ones I thought was the best picture. But and if you guys get a chance to watch majority of them between then and now, maybe we can have our own little best picture award that we give out. But we'll look into that for the near future. But anyway, go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys have a favorite from any of these movies that have been nominated for Best Picture? Go down in the comments below and give us your thoughts. Now, before we move on to Jeremy's unboxing, I do want to remind you guys that we do have a Discord. And I do not have the picture for that Discord for some reason. I have to get a new one. But you can go over there anytime. The link is in the description below and talk about movies. There's all kinds of channels on there for the different things that we talk about. Everything is spoilery, so if you want to avoid spoilers for anything, you do not want to go over there and read too much of the stuff, because we are just openly discussing everything that's on there. But the link is in the description below. Go down to our Discord and talk about movies all the time. And Jeremy, what's the big thing that you want to unbox?
Well, really a
not
big
nearly
thing.
as big as the last unboxing, but...
No. We're not talking about your testicles tonight. Mm-mm.
No, we're talking about my package, which apparently is partially crushed. I didn't know that. No, that's sitting literally right here. That's the not. Shut up.
I'm sorry, your mom's
whatever.
listening.
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no, she knows how I am.
Okay, good.
Had to put up with me
Hi,
for almost 30
Rachel.
years now. So. No, that's sitting right there. The Falcon's like literally right in front of me because I had to move the table out of the way. No, I was gonna say this would have been a nice segue into the unboxing, because I think I know what this one is. I've got the other one back here, and I'm saving this one because it's got 3. It's a set of 3, and they gave me 2, and for some reason no one's not coming until like another week or 2.
Let's hope this box isn't the box of razors you ordered, or your deodorant, or your dog's treats.
Well, it's just not like some phase Jeff, like where he had a box that had holes in it. He's like, if there's something alive in here, I swear. I have to him outside, like just trying to open the box and shit. Okay. I was worried because like this box is like, this big. And I know this one back here this has 2 in it. This has 1. That's why I was like concerned, like, what? They just randomly sent me another. Oh, good. The box is partially fucked. That's okay. I'm not mad. Anyway, give me a second. God damn, y'all. I'm getting really stingy with these boxes and shit. I'm sorry. Oh, look, there's just me. So anyway, speaking of
What
rubber
are we
pants.
looking at? The size of the boxes?
No, I'm looking at the side of the box because it's like the corners kind of.
Oh, gotcha.
Man, I don't know if I want to be that picky about it, but whatever. Well, speaking of Robert Pattinson, I was talking about Batman. It's not really even a pre-order, but there we go. We have the Batman, Robert Pattinson's version, right there. I like it. Just him with his fist up, just kind of, he's ready to fight. There's maybe it'll show it on here. Yeah, this has Batman.
I can see it better. Take it out of the box.
Haha, you're funny. There's
Almost.
There's a 10-inch version. There's this one, which I saw. It says Battle Ready. It looks like he has... It looks like a fucked up... It's like he looks like he's Wolverine, but he's got like a crowbar or some bullshit coming out of his hands like Wolverine. I don't know. It says Battle Ready. I'm like, I know I haven't seen the movie. I don't know what it means yet. I mean, it's probably something really badass. I'm gonna lie. They got Selena Kyle, Cobblepot, Oswald. I said that backwards, and then it's got the Riddler. So I mean, this is a kind of a cool set. No, I was kind of like, damn it, the corner's kind of ripped and it's kind of bulged out, but whatever. As bad as I thought. That's okay. So we got Batman. Somewhere behind me, I have a whole shelf of nothing but Batman, like pops right there, which this does now not fit on, so that's going to become an issue.
Rachel, we need to go over one day and unbox all of these and hide the boxes.
Yeah, then I'm going to be hiding a body, so don't do that.
Never tell me where you live. I'll drive there to do it.
That's some really petty shit if you're going to drive all that way just to...
He just said he has an AK in the house. You really want to chance it?
No.
Not the only thing, man.
It's okay. I have a Velociraptor I'll bring.
Yeah, it's like she's going to ride up on a Velociraptor. That's what it's going to be. You're knocking on the door, like 5 of them right there, and I'm like, well, fuck, I had a good run. Damn it. Okay, you guys got the rush. Speaking of, you guys got the Russians. Nice. The Russians are invading.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke this guy does on his channel where he, like, when someone panics, he's like, what's going on? What's going on? Are the Russians invading? It's just every time. Funny. Yeah, fuck.
Rachel wrote in the chat, I'd like to not be single and dead, thanks. LOL. I'm joking, Rachel. I wouldn't really ask you to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, I think we both know that is not a thing that would end very well. No. But be like, hey, no, it's like that damn that video where the guy, it was like a quarantine, it was like early quarantine, and his girlfriend was like making this puzzle, and I don't know how many 1,000 pieces of whatever the puzzle was. It was massive. And she was ready. She was doing the last piece. He's like, yeah, she's been working on this for like a month or two or whatever, and she's about to put the last piece in. And he just takes it and boom, swipes it off the fucking table and busts the whole like puzzle to shit. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the last time we saw that man alive. Holy shit. Even if it was staged, I'm like, man, I would be so pissed off.
Is this the way it's going to end with your little project with the 70?
That's what I mean. I'm like, now if you come in here with the Falcon, we're done. And then she picks up and just drops it. I'm like, all right. We're going to stop the stream now because I don't want this to become a snuff film. Hold myself to any legal repercussions for showing it on film.
Hey, no. This would be Frank's low-budget horror film. Very low budget.
Yeah. That was the... That was the twist.
Oh, look, your mom's defending you in the chat. I promise you we wouldn't really actually.
Yeah, my trust me, it's not just me. And then it's like, then you got my parents to deal with, which that's not an avenue you want to go down either. Oh, yeah, the only pop she said that she's ever unboxed is the One of Us, but that was to fix it, and that's fair. I mean, well, actually, no, you opened up it's your pop. You can do whatever you want with it. She opened up the Bob Ross one, but it's cool because, like, he's sitting next to, speaking of puzzles, there's a puzzle I made her of one of his paintings, and actually put it into a frame once I completed it, and she's got the little Bob Ross pop sitting in front of it, in front of the painting, and so it's kind of cool. It works.
I kind of want a Bob Ross pop figure now.
they do have some. They have a really cool one. It's
all
like
Bob Ross paintings are never going to be for sale, and they sit in a warehouse owned by the people who own his estate, and they just sit there.
Well,
I watched a documentary on that a while back.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Makes money. And it's also, I mean, he's got different versions of each painting too, because I mean, it's like the one he does for the intro, then there's the one he paints on the show. Mm-hmm. It's like he's always got like either 2 or 3 of like the same painting, which is really, really, really wild. That's a lot of happy trees.
Yes.
Well, now that Jeremy has unboxed his newest addition to his pop figure collection, which is bigger than mine, I'm really selective about the ones I get. I just don't want certain ones.
Well, I am too, which is weird. But this is me being selective, trust me. This is me being in control.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that has an entire room of their house completely...
I've seen it.
From ceiling to floor, shelves and shelves of pop figures.
I've seen it.
Insurance. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to have to, because, you know.
Like, you want to insure a $7 pop figure? I can imagine the insurance company's like, wait a minute, you want to insure what?
Sir, you don't understand. This is a special one. See, it's got blood on it. It's just don't worry about it, okay? You know,
Like
they go up in value. Damn
The
it.
most special one I have is the Linda Barrett one from Fast Times at Ridgemont High in the red bikini.
Nice.
That's my most special one.
I guess the Ian Malcolm. There's a Han Solo carbon. The Mandalorian up there is actually kind of cool because it's actually shiny. It's like the plastic is actually like really shiny and chromed out, which is kind of cool. There's the patina Stan Lee, which is cool. I think the chase variants are the ones that are really the actual rare ones, the ones that have the blood splatters on them and shit. So that'd be like the Patrick Bateman one, the Ash Evil Dead. I have a Chris Hardwick, which actually has blood on it, which I didn't think was actually on there, but hey, it's on there. It makes sense. It's one of my favorite ones.
Well, let us know in the comments below what pop figures you think Jeremy should get next.
Well, like I said, I got 2 more sitting back here. I just need the 3rd one to complete the thing, and I got another one coming, which is probably, if I know where this is going, the next subject might be related to that.
Maybe related to those. Why don't we get to that right now? Lady Cora, what is the next topic we're going to be talking about tonight?
Okay. Following the massive success of Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, it's not. Never mind.
What?
I thought we were doing Boba Fett. Mike, no, it's related to Boba Fett. Sorry. There you go. Never mind. Go on.
So good. Sony is looking to expand on its universe of Marvel characters. As sources tell Deadline that Dakota Johnson is in talks to star in the studio's Madam Web movie. In the comics, Madam Web is depicted as an elderly woman with myasthenia gravis, and thus was connected to a life support system that looked like a spider web. Due to her age and medical conditions, Madam Web never actively fought any villains. For that reason, sources have stressed it's possible the project could turn into something else. Insiders say due to her psychic sensory powers, she's essentially Sony's version of Doctor Strange. In other Spider-Verse news, Oscar winner Russell Crowe will star alongside Aaron Taylor Johnson in Sony Pictures' Marvel film Kraven the Hunter. Details with regard to the film's plot and the character Crowe is playing are being kept under wraps, but Kraven is known as an iconic and notorious Marvel antihero who in the comics has established himself as one of Spider-Man's most formidable foes, also encountering Venom, Black Panther, and many others. Jeremy, what do you think of Sony's addition to the growing Spider-Verse?
Well, I'm not one to say no to an expanding Spider-Verse anyway, so I guess the web is expanding. That was my bad joke. I don't know. I just see Russell Crowe, then I see that character, and it was like, if he just turns around and goes, "Are you not entertained?" I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't know. It's kind of cool that you bring in his other types of characters from this. Again, when I said like with Star Wars, with Marvel, DC, you got so many different stories and characters to just, like I said, stretch your legs out into, and like you can tell some really cool shit. Especially like we were talking about Iron Man, and you're like, Iron Man could have been a total bust. You're like, Iron Man wasn't even that popular. It wasn't even like you would have even thought that was going to be a thing, 20 some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and also the fact that it's like, oh, Robert Downey Jr., really, that guy? Yeah, and and he made it what it is. I think that's part of the reason too. And he just knocked her out of the fucking park. But it's cool to see these other characters get their time in the spotlight. I'm excited. I'm always excited for new shit like that.
Yeah, I like reaching out to different kind of side characters and fleshing them out and letting the casual fans know how important they are to the central character that is always up front. So it's nice to know that while Spider-Man is being tremendously successful right now and may even be challenging the $2 billion mark at some point before its run in the theaters is over, that having this Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter and some of these characters that are big in comics, but you wouldn't have thought were going to be big parts of the MCU or the Spider-Verse moving forward or whatever. It's nice to know that they're really going after these characters and they're really taking them seriously. Look, for one, you never ever go wrong when you add talent to a project. And Dakota Johnson is young. She's talented. She's on her way up. She could be one of the greatest female actresses of the next 20 years. So I think getting her on the way up is good. As far as getting Russell Crowe is concerned, I mean, the guy's a legend. If there was an acting Hall of Fame, which I think there is now, kind of, in a way, at the Academy Museum in L.A., but if there was like a legit acting Hall of Fame, I think this guy'd probably be a lock. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. My question with Russell Crowe is, what's he going to play? I don't really know a whole lot about some of the characters that surround Craven himself, so I don't really know who he could play. Could he be like what Whistler is to Blade? You know what I mean? So is he going to play a character like that, or is he going to play somebody else who's got some kind of a power? Maybe he could be a bad guy. You never know. I mean, I'm interested to see exactly how they're going to use him, because I think he would do both well. I think I would like to see him use as kind of that mentor character, that Whistler character, because I thought he did a great job playing Jor-El, the hologram of Jor-El anyway, in the DCEU early on in the Superman stuff. So I'd like to see him kind of play that, because I think he could do that very, very well.
He does do conflicted characters very well. If you ever notice, that's something Russell Crowe does pretty well, where it's a kind of morally ambiguous character. You know, like when he did, say, like Robin Hood, or he did, damn it, there was a movie he did with fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, like in the early 2000s. And like I said, anything he does, it's kind of, even that new one, man, the Unhinged movie, which was awesome. Jesus, it was a thriller of a movie. I'm telling you what. Where you play someone who's got this, you want to feel for him, but it's like, yeah, but you're kind of going off the rails, dude. You have this weird conflicting character, which he does do that really well, and it's cool. If you say he's like some sort of anti-hero, I'm like, well, I could see that. He does it really well.
Yeah, but I'm also really excited to see what they do with the Madam Web character. I mean, is this character going to play into Spider-Man at some point? Because I mean, they've already done so much with Spider-Man. I mean, they've gone through kind of his beginnings. He's messed around with Mysterio. Now he's gone through the whole all the things that he went through in Spider-Man No Way Home with the multiverse and all that. Meeting the other two Spider-Men and you know, dealing with basically most of his rogue gallery. I'm interested to see how she could impact the Spider-Man character moving forward, or if she's going to be something that maybe they use more prominently when they do move on eventually from the Tom Holland iteration of Peter Parker to maybe a Miles Morales version of Spider-Man, because they've got to have plans for that, to do that at some point. So maybe
you know it's going to be a girl, right?
Madam Web.
No, they're going to make a girl Spider-Man at some point for SJW.
Well, I mean, they already kind of do. I mean, they have...
That's what Spider-Gwen's for.
Yeah, they already have Spider-Gwen. So, I mean, that's not...
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to necessarily do Spider-Gwen live action. I think it would be interesting, but...
But Emma Stone in the movie, for fuck's sake, you have it.
I know. They already got her. She's
Here
right
we
there.
go.
You have it.
She would totally do it, too. Why wouldn't she?
I know. And if you know what? If you gave... Oh, my God. Could you imagine if you saw... For some reason, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and her Spider-Gwen cross paths. Like, holy shit, the emotion that would be behind that scene. Because, you know, for him, when he caught Zendaya there at the end, he about started crying. I mean, she's like, "You okay, dude?" Like, yeah, I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." Like, I finally redeemed myself. Man, imagine him seeing her like that. Like, holy shit! Like, wait, you're a Spider-Man too? The hell? Be a good way to introduce them both, because, like, you know, seeing Miles Morales and then, because that's interesting. He is the one who had the conversation with Jimmy Fox's character, where he's like, "There's got to be a black Spider-Man," and I'm like, "There is somewhere." Andrew Garfield's like, yeah,
we're gonna see him eventually. He's out there.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun.
But yeah, I mean, it's right now. Craven is supposed to be hitting theaters in. The official release date right now is January 13th, 2023. Mm-hmm. And they are apparently looking to build a franchise around Craven with Aaron Taylor Johnson, because he did sign a multi-picture deal to be in the movie. I don't know yet what kind of deal. Apparently the deal is not finalized yet, but she's in advanced negotiation stages for, what's her name, Dakota Johnson to join Madam Web. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see how they do deal with her character, though, because her character, you know, like Cora said, in in the lead-in is she's not really someone who actually goes out and fights. She's hooked up to this weird thing that looks like a life support thing. So
it sounds like the Set Up in Minority Report with the 3 psychics in that water room.
Similar, yeah, something like that. But she does have this way of impacting the outside world similar to Doctor Strange. So it'd be interesting to see how they go about kind of dealing with her character, because I don't know if they would be able to kind of if they would be able to try to make her more mobile. I don't want to say it like that because it sounds like I'm being insensitive, but if they want to change her character a lot to make it to where she can get out in the world and cause chaos or do whatever she's planning on doing. Again, she's kind of an anti-hero herself, so I mean, it's kind of, you don't really know if she's going to be a good guy or a bad guy. I am a little concerned with the number of anti-heroes people are putting out there, though. I mean, because eventually they have to take sides somewhere. So I feel like if you have too many of them out there, that you kind of run the risk of you make it difficult for yourself to put a good story out there that's going to satisfy every character to the fans, and still kind of help you like those characters. Because we like Venom even though he's an anti-hero. Venom is not really a good guy in the comics.
No.
They've made him an anti-hero for the movie, and he definitely has his problems with Peter Parker and stuff like that over the course of the comic books and stuff like that. So seeing him as a good guy is something that was invented for the movies. So I don't know. However they want to do it, I'm interested to see, but I am interested. So go down in the comments below, let us know what you guys think. Russell Crowe, Dakota Johnson are going to be joining. I guess we can just start calling it the Spider-Verse now. It's not the MCU, as far as I know. I don't think they're going to have any greater role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but in the Spider-Verse that Sony is creating around Tom Holland, they should be significant players in that.
Wait till the second season of Loki. I'm sure they could wrap it all in.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. You know, we still have no word about the second season of Loki. As far as I know,
they haven't even started filming yet. By the way.
As far as I know, they haven't started filming anything yet. So I mean, because right now, if they started filming today, I don't think we'd see a second season of Loki for at least another year.
At least. I'll bust out the suit again, damn it, as soon as it comes back.
President Loki. Season 2, episode 1. Season 2, episode 1. Jeremy in full costume as President Loki.
I'll do it. I'll do it. That'll be that review, episode 1. I'll be in there in full costume and the horns and everything.
Hell yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. But maybe we'll get lucky. It'll come around on Halloween. We can all do something special for it again.
Also, we still want to do Jay and Silent Bob.
True.
Of course. Could do that.
True.
Or like every stream in October, every Thursday in October is a different outfit or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe. That would be kind of fun to do. That'd be kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
But, Cora, what's the next topic we're going to be talking about today?
It is our final treat for everyone. The Book of Boba Fett wrapped up its first season this week with its 7th episode. Gunfights, backstabbing, and Boba Fett riding a rancor beast marked an exciting end that, of course, included the Mandalorian and everyone's favorite little green alien, Grogu. Frank, what did you think of the final episode?
I thought there was a lot more Boba Fett in it than the last couple episodes. That was the first thing that jumped out at me. I
was wondering who that guy was.
I was like, it's like I know that guy. I know that guy in the silver shiny suit, but who's that guy in the dark green suit? I haven't seen him in like forever. It felt like. But it was exciting. It was. I don't understand narratively why you would spend the last 2 episodes talking about everybody but him. But I mean, as far as the final episode, I mean, it was. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun completion of everything that he was doing. I loved the final little showdown between him and Cad Bane. I thought it was fun to watch. It was something straight out of an old western.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. Again, I don't know why there was that. Why Grogu shows up didn't make any sense to me. I'm glad he did because I like seeing Baby Yoda, but why he shows up, I just don't understand. Yes, him riding the Rancor beast in and just wrecking shop, letting him pick people up and throw them around and eating them and everything. I was just like, yes, I want more of this. I want the scene to last for at least another 20 minutes. It did not, but that was asking a lot, I know. I thought it was fun. And even the Power Rangers on brightly colored Vespas was not so off-putting this time because they were involved in the gunfight and they were just a part of it all. Look, I thought it was exciting. Again, it doesn't make any sense to me the last 2 episodes why they did what they did with them. They could have done a lot more, but this was a pretty good ending for everything, I feel. Also, a small post-credit scene at the end I thought was kind of interesting to see. Made me very, very happy to see that his character was not actually dead, that he was being nursed back to health. Because I love me some Timothy Olyphant. But I mean, overall, it was an exciting episode. It was all the action that I wanted to see. It was good Star Wars stuff. Blasters everywhere, explosions, people coming in at the last minute to help out. One of the things that I swear to God, I almost thought we would see it at some point, even down to like the last second I thought we might see it, was some kind of an appearance by Han Solo. I'm kind of glad we didn't. I think it might have taken a little bit away from all this, especially after the last couple episodes of not having really any Boba Fett at all involved in the show. I think it was probably better off to not have him show up, to be honest. It would have taken a lot of the thunder away from what we did get from Boba Fett in this last episode, which is kind of what I think Grogu appearing did. I think it kind of... It was good to see, and it was fun that it happened kind of right in the middle of all the shit going on, but at the same time, it took me out of it a bit. I'm like, why are you having Grogu pop in now? It's just so weird.
So we can set up season 3.
Didn't you do that for the last 2 episodes? You spent the last 2 episodes sitting at the Mandalorian instead of setting up the finale of Boba Fett. I don't know.
And Ahsoka. Yeah, I don't know.
And Ahsoka. I don't know. Jeremy, what did you think of the episode overall?
Well, I waited and I held my breath. You know me and my sign back here. I wanted to say this the second I saw this damn thing, but I was waiting for this moment. Release the Rancor. Because holy shit, when that thing came out, and I'm like, oh my god, is he riding it? Yes, he's... For a hot second, I thought, Danny Trejo? Maybe? Danny Trejo again? Come in and start kicking... That'd be way too much... It'd be way too much machete, so... It may have taken away from it a little bit.
There is no such thing as too much machete.
That's fair.
There's no such thing as too much Danny Trejo.
You would have had some space machete, like just hacking people away, turned to a grindhouse film. Yeah, man, holy shit! I mean, I'm glad that came to fruition. That Rancor is wrecking shop, having its little monster moments, little King Kong and Godzilla moments, and all left and right.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was fucking cool. I was kind of I mean, when Mando's like, all right, I can hold him off for a second, and Boba Fett takes off, and I was like, where's he going? I'm like, I know he's gonna do something. Where's he going? Like, I'm like, wait a minute, because my thought was with those big, they're basically like giant droidicas, like from the original.
That's what I was reminded of when I saw those things.
Yeah, like they look like oversized droidicas. And I thought, well, shit, yeah, they always. I mean, like Qui-Gon said, there's always a bigger fish. I'm like, yeah, well, or Ian Malcolm. Why is it always gotta go bigger? Yeah, that was a pretty good impression. Holy shit, surprised myself there. No, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I know in the original, the prequel trilogy, I mean, yeah, they have shields, but I'm like, they're not indestructible. Like the little small blasters aren't gonna do shit. And we saw even he tried the Darksaber. That wouldn't work. I wouldn't imagine a lightsaber would either.
Yeah, the Darksaber not working. I was kind of like, really? I thought that would have had more of an effect.
Maybe, and I thought, well, because Rachel even said while we were watching, she's like, "No, don't fight with it. Don't fight against it." I'm like, I know. I'm like, oh my god, please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. But what we saw those droidicas in episode 1, and Anakin accidentally his way into a fucking Naboo starfighter, whatever. Got to get him into space somehow, and he took that thing and just like, he blew those fucking droidicas off that little loading or flight deck, whatever the fuck it is, the hangar. And I'm like, yeah, a big blaster on a starship would probably blow right through them, yeah. So I was thinking, wait a minute, is he gonna go get his ship? I'm like, just kind of like strafe the fucking road and probably take it out, maybe. I thought that would be why, but I'm like, you know what? No, as soon as I saw the Rancor just fucking come around the corner, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm fine with that. That's cool. And then I thought, well, wait, yeah, because Mando has one of those starfighters now. I thought maybe he could just same thing. I think the only thing, I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny. Just all of a sudden, here's Grogu. I'm like, yeah, yay, him and Mando are back together, great. But I think the point of why he was there was, yes, obviously to set up season 3, and I called it. It's so adorable. He's sitting there in that little droid port, just like in the middle of space. I'm like, yep, I called it. His little fucking head's gonna be poking out that little droid port, looking around. He just wanted to go fast. That was so. He's just tapping the window like, come on, no, no. All right, last time.
It did remind me of one of those moments where the kids in the backseat of the car, like, "Are we there yet? Are we
Right.
there yet? Are we there yet?"
Right. He just taps it more aggressive. He's like, all right, fine, but it's the last time. When they take off, Mike, and I was like, off to season 3. Goodbye. I think the only reason why he was there was to set that up. But again, I think it was the point that like when he looks down and he sees the little chainmail shirt that he had. I think that was really the important part that we're like, oh, okay, that's what happened. Okay, so he chose that. Now I was waiting that whole time. I'm like, I swear to Christ, if he pulls out that lightsaber too, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Like he just pulls out that lightsaber and starts doing little backflips and shit and like wrecking all those Pike Syndicate guys. I mean, I kept waiting for a lightsaber to pop out in his hand, but it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Although I mean, we don't know. We never did see it. We don't know if he did. Also,
did he jack to see where all that stuff goes?
Did he jack Luke Skywalker's X-wing? I saw it come in.
No, I don't think he jacked it. I think he probably told R2-D2, he's like, go ahead, take control of the X-wing and fly him to where the Mandalorian is and drop him off. That makes perfect sense.
R2 did. Well, R2's a little shit. He would have too. I mean, he'd probably been like, bye, Luke. I'll bring it back. Well, yeah, when I saw the X-wing, I'm like, wait, a single X-wing? Is it? I was like, is Luke about to come in here? Holy shit. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's Grogu. I'm like, okay, cool. And then R2. I'm like, all right. Because I thought, wait a minute, was it because the Pele was like, oh, is it one of the cops? I'm like, oh, that's right, they have X-wings. I'm like, no, that's a specific X-wing. That's Luke's. That looks more like his.
Well, whenever you see one X-wing roll in, you know exactly who it is.
I know, yeah, like that picture of Giancarlo Esposito where he's like got that smirk on his face. He's like, a single X-wing came to help them, and it's him looking oh shit face. He's like, wait, a single X-wing came to help them. I'm like,
single X-wing,
right? You know who it is.
Usually it's a single Luke Skywalker who's gonna fucking wreck shop. So,
and hey, he sure as hell did when he came in on that scene, man. I think that was really just the whole point. It was just nice seeing them together again. It kind of gives him a little bit of a, oh crap, now I gotta protect him too. We're in the middle of this fight. Also with Pele too. I'm like, oh crap, we got this middle of this fight and you guys are up here. Ah shit. I mean, they put in work. Grogu helped calm down the Rancor, which was kind of adorable. Yeah. Kind of a weird shock that. I mean, if you haven't seen Clone Wars, it's kind of like, what? Cad Bane was there for 10 minutes. And they died? I'm like, yeah, but if you've seen Clone Wars, you kind of understand the actual weight of that. And him and Boba Fett have history. So I was kind of shocked that, oh, crap, we're just going to kill him. Damn.
I did think that it would have made more sense to kind of have him being a bad guy that was always out there for Boba Fett to deal with.
Yeah, and being that he trained him, too. That's hilarious that Boba Fett's the one that ended up killing him. So,
yeah, I did think it was weird because just his appearance. I mean, walking in out of
he carries himself, man.
In the desert and having that shootout with Cobb, that whole thing. I was like, that's way too cool of an entrance to waste on 2 episodes of a character.
Yeah, he does have history. I'm like, it's not like it's without warrant. I mean, even just if you don't know anything about him or have only seen him in this, I'm like, no, you understand that's at least a tidbit. You kind of get where this dude's coming from. So I mean, yeah, go watch Clone Wars. It's totally worth it. Seeing him in that.
Yeah, I thought he could have been a character that you could have gone back to a couple of times and really had a lot of fun with because it seemed like that's the only other person that Boba Fett really felt threatened by. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was intense. Like I said, that was even when I saw him and I see Boba Fett. I'm like, I love both of you, and you're both badass in your own right. But I'm like, I sit there hold my breath. I'm like, oh my god, this is so tense. I'm like, I don't know, man. Either one of them, Jesus. And that's what makes it so cool. Although you say that, and I mean, when we saw him shoot Cobb Vanth, and then he laid about 700 more shots into his fucking deputy, which was uncalled for.
Yeah, he shot Cobb Vanth once, and then he shot the deputy 17 times. I'm like, really?
I'm like, yeah, if you knew, just, okay, boom, take him out real quick, just incapacitate him, because he probably knew he was a threat, obviously, but then he just, why'd you gun him down, to that degree? Dude, I don't think he was really even going to do anything to you. Holy shit. I'm like, yeah, the way he got hit, and he kind of just, I'm like, it didn't look like anything lethal. And obviously, this has almost become comic booky, where I'm like, yeah, it's Star Wars. No one's really gonna die. You kind of just can't, because if you want, I don't know if you want to talk about the end credit scene now, because that's kind of where I was going with it.
Oh, go for it.
I was going to ask you about it, but I didn't know if you'd tell me.
Well, because I'm like, Cad Bane's just sitting there in the street, just like that. I'm like, but as we've known now with how Star Wars works, it necessarily can't just die, I guess. Because we saw when he said, "Oh, Bubba's like, oh yeah, the back tank's being used," and I was like, "Is it the Wookiee?" He did promise. Maybe that was the weird red herring where he promised him. He's like, "Hey, you deserve a good soak in the back tank now." And I'm like, "Yeah, man." He was. I thought he was about to have his platoon moment there for a fucking second. He was sitting there like running back towards him, getting shot in the back, and he's like, trying to get towards him. I'm like, oh no, if he drops to his knees and just goes like, I
was like, don't kill him now. He's too badass.
I know.
I never really got that really good fight between him and Boba Fett. That kind of bothers me.
Like, I know he's a Wookiee. He's basically their juggernaut. But man, I was like, don't kill the Wookiee. Come on. Yeah, I thought maybe the Wookiee was using it, and then no, I'm like, wait a minute, Cobb Vanth is in there. I'm like, yeah, he didn't really get like injured. I don't think he died. He probably got laid out. And then you see that guy, the mod guy, whatever, that did that shit for what's her face?
Oh.
Yeah, I already forgot her name. Shit.
The armor?
No, Boba Fett, the Fennec Shand. When he gave her that little mod, because same thing in Mando when she got shot and thought she was gonna die, and he gave her that little modification to keep her alive. I was like, oh, okay, so that'd be cool. We see some like half weird robotic Cobb Vanth. I'm like, all right, I'm all for that, man. If we're gonna do another season of Boba Fett and have him come back, shit.
Yeah, again, the last like 3 episodes were just so odd. It's like I never felt like I had a decent footing going into this last episode because of the last 2 episodes. But I mean, again, it was fun. It was a great ending, and so they've certainly set up for a second season, which is nice to know.
Like, this is what this should have been the whole time. Holy shit!
Yeah, I still don't understand the whole just kind of not doing Boba Fett things for the last 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, but whatever.
I know we're trying to set it up. I'm like, but it's already there. You don't have to.
I feel like you could have done that more. You could have done a better job of that by doing less of it. You know what I mean? I didn't need a whole episode of the Mandalorian doing his thing.
That's what we have his show for.
That to me seemed like it should have been season 3, episode 1. I don't know why you're giving it to me now in the middle of Book of Boba Fett. It just doesn't make any sense to me. About the kid coming back. Grogu coming back to catch up with Mandalorian, all should have been done in the first couple episodes of Mandalorian. I don't know why it's done here. I don't know if I just don't get it. Thanks Hulk Smash 62 for subscribing. We appreciate it, brother. We hope you come back. Plenty more content coming up. A couple of live streams every week. Our usual news shows, and then of course Jeremy and Rachel and sometimes Zach putting together the 1 bajillion piece Millennium Falcon. Check that out on Tuesdays. But yeah, I don't.
What you're saying sounds like they took a bunch of plot ideas and wrote them down and put them in a fishbowl and just picked 5 and put them in random places in these episodes.
It wouldn't have mattered if they would have included Boba Fett. That's like having
apparently not.
It's if you'd have had some random Han Solo episode in the middle of this that made no sense. It's like it would have been fun to have seen it, but it's like, what did it have to do with Boba Fett's personal arc going through what he's going through over the course of this season of the series? I don't really get it. Like I said, just kind of, it all took me out of it. And like I said, it's one thing to use, we've talked about it like in Loki and WandaVision and some of these other series they've done for Marvel, having that one episode where not a lot of crazy shit happens, but it just puts those pieces in the final place for that push towards the conclusion of the story. That makes perfect sense to me. And I like that they do it. But it's like this time, you didn't even do that. You just completely forgot about Boba Fett for 2 episodes and then came back. You're like, okay, here's the big finale, a lot of gunfights. And I'm like, well, you basically got me out of Boba Fett and got me into watching the first couple episodes of The Mandalorian. I was kind of leaving Boba Fett for a couple episodes. I don't know, I just don't get it. Like I said, they were great episodes to watch. They were fun, but they weren't Boba Fett. And there was so much opportunity in there to tell story, and it never really got told.
I think the only thing story-wise that I mean, again, you could have done this in, like, I think that scene with Luke Skywalker and Grogu and Ahsoka, that could have been the setup for Ahsoka, because, like, she leaves, and it's like, you could have just seen that little interaction between the 3 of them, mainly Luke and Grogu, and then Ahsoka leaving. I think the only thing, I was gonna mention this on the Falcon stream, I was like, I think the only thing, I know everyone's like so pissed off at Luke Skywalker, like, yeah, this is literally still the same problem with the Jedi. They're making him choose. And I'm like, I don't think anyone gets that is the point.
Well, that's where Luke Skywalker is in that moment, though.
That's what I mean.
He's the Luke Skywalker that we're seeing now is not the Luke we saw in in the
episode 8.
Yeah, episode 8.
That's what I was saying. That still bridges that, because we didn't see him. We saw him in Return of the Jedi, and then we saw him in The Last Jedi, that's kind of cool to think about, title-wise. And I'm like, I know everyone was so mad about that. They were so pissed off about his character there. I'm like, I mean, I know it was Mark Hamill, but he was just like, well, look, I'm just doing what they gave me. I'm like, yeah. However, I think this solidifies that a little more. You still see a little setup of like, it's still inherently the problem of, the Jedi, which I hate to talk bad about the Jedi, but that's kind of the point. He's making him choose, and we know what happens. We saw him having his temple built, and we know it gets absolutely shreked to the ground because he said in his hubris, he's like, I thought I could, when he's talking about his nephew, he's like, I thought I could teach them. I thought I could teach all these Jedi. And I'm like, yeah, and it literally blew up in your face. You lost your temple, you lost your Padawans, and your nephew took a couple of them, made the Knights of Ren, and shit, that whole thing happened. I'm like, yeah, and you got to understand, he did the same thing Yoda did, so I don't know why it's a problem when Luke does it. He had this moment where it all just blew up in his face, and he realized, shit, I failed, man. He's like, I'm gonna shut myself off, put myself into hiding, and I'm just gonna. Now, someone as powerful as Yoda can't really shut themselves off in the Force, obviously, because when Luke goes there, he's like, oh, there's something alive down there for sure. Luke probably could, but that's the point. I'm like, I'm kind of defending it now. I'm like, look, you don't understand. He had been built up to anyone who'd never seen him before and knew him, like Rey. When you're like, oh my God, you know Master Skywalker. Like, if that's your tone across the galaxy to no one else that knows you, and you can't live up to that, I'm like, man, that would fuck with you hard, and that's the place you'd end up in. So I don't know why everyone's so upset about it. It makes sense. And seeing that, like, laid the foundation of, like, oh, this is how Luke's kind of just in this headstrong moment of, like, yeah, I'm going to teach all these Jedi now. I'm like, well, we know what happens. That doesn't work. I don't know.
But yeah, Book of Boba Fett is finally made its 7-episode run for its first season. Obviously, a second season is on the way. They left plenty of stuff open for the storytellers to deal with moving forward. Jeremy, any final thoughts on the way that you think Boba Fett ended?
Well, that's a hell of a way to end. I mean, goddamn. That was a fight I knew I needed to see, so I was happy it finally came to fruition, and I'm kind of glad everyone's now gone their separate ways, and Mando and Grogu going to do God knows what now. I mean, apparently. I think Boba Fett's got I don't know. I kind of got worried. I mean, I know that there's the joke now. Came full circle. He's walking down the street just with Fennec Shan, and everyone's just bowing to him, and then he's got that respect. But he's kind of just like, yeah, this isn't really us. Like, I was like, oh, don't give up, man. After all that you just went through. And I mean, I like Fennec Shan was like, well, if not us, then who? Like,
he doesn't want to be the hero. He just wants to be himself.
Yeah, and I guess she's like, well, if who else is going to do it if not us? I'm like, yeah, that's fair. So, I'm excited.
I personally love the final episode. It was hard to really feel like I was ready for it because the last couple episodes didn't really do anything to set it up, but again, it was fun. It was good, action-packed Star Wars stuff. Like I said, the whole shootout between him and not Cobb Vance, between him and
Cad Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane. I thought was really the Western motif, that kind of gunslinger mentality that they have for this show and for the Mandalorian. I think is freaking awesome. I just love it. I love that whole idea of them just kind of being, one man against the world kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it was really, really good. Again, I don't understand the narrative choices for the last couple episodes, not really doing anything to set it all up and just kind of going into it. But hey, whatever. It worked out. They gave me a little bit of sad. They even managed to work in the Vespa gang without making them obnoxious. It's like, so. And they actually handled themselves pretty well throughout the course of the gunfight, so I couldn't be terribly upset with really any, well, with their role in the final episode anyway. But overall, the series the season didn't quite do what I wanted it to do, but it was still good. I really wanted something. I like this idea of making it more like The Godfather, whereas Mandalorian is more like Shane, the lone gunslinger walking the plains. They made this more like The Godfather. It's definitely some mob controlling the area, respect, things like that. I really like the fact that they gave it that kind of a theme for most of the the series anyway, and tried to do something different and cool with it, because I think ultimately it did fit Boba Fett. And I know some people are kind of shitting on it. They're like, oh, why would you have the bounty hunter suddenly want to stay in one place and just be a mob boss? Well, because it's a logical incarnation of where his character goes from that point. I mean,
he's already lived that life, man. He's like, nah, I'm done with that shit.
Yeah, up until he popped up in The Mandalorian, we thought he was still being digested in the Sarlacc pit. So it's like, just the fact that he's even out there anymore is still kind of wild and cool. So I mean, creating the story around him, I think it's cool as shit. I think it's fun, because Boba Fett is one of those characters that the people who are really, really steeped in the Star Wars lore is well known and well respected and well liked, and people have a lot of fans. He has a lot of fans, so I think it made sense to make a TV show for him. Again, kind of went off the rails a little bit and kind of towards the end, but last episode was a good one. I think overall, I give the series probably a solid B-, just because they drifted away from Boba Fett for 2 episodes. There's Jeremy wearing his Boba Fett shirt, by the way.
I was like, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think it was good. Is it as good as The Mandalorian? Probably not. I don't think I can put it up there yet. Mandalorian seemed to be a bit more focused. There wasn't that 2 episodes where you're talking about everything but The Mandalorian. But
hey, you don't know. Maybe in The Mandalorian, all of a sudden we'll have 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. Fuck it.
But I'm not going to like that either. I want The Mandalorian to be... Now, if Boba Fett shows up, that's one thing. But it's like that one episode in particular was not anything to do with Boba Fett. Fennec Shand shows up at the very end, and only really that 2 minutes at the end has anything to do with the Book of Boba Fett. So, I don't know. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Go down in the comments below and let us know how you guys feel about the Book of Boba Fett. Did the series do for you what you were hoping it would do? Do you think it was great? Do you think it sucked? Are you ready for season 2? And what are some of the things you guys think can happen? Go down in the comments below and let us know what you guys think. And Lady Cora wanted to talk about one other story before we start to bounce out of here for the night. Cora, what is that you wanted to talk about?
$12 billion is a number. Okay. So whoever this company is, let me pull up the link. One moment. There it is. This company called Saul Zaentz CO owns all the stakes of token holdings for Lord of the Rings movies. And they are selling said rights at $2 billion a movie. So, evidently Amazon is at the top of the list. Put the link in the chat here. I just am blown away that for $12 billion you can own the rights of these movies, all 6 of them, both trilogies. And I just, we're talking about big numbers, and it's just this one little line in the middle of a paragraph. The company is expected to receive at least $2 billion, at least, for each token property. I'm very curious what Amazon will do if they win the rights in the purchase bidding war or whatever, potentially. Because if they're at the top of the list, what is Amazon going to do with it?
Well, Amazon's really making a push to try to grow its original content stuff for its streaming platform.
Well, aren't they also making a series of Lord of the Rings? I don't remember who's doing it. I don't know if it was Amazon. But they're doing like a little like a show, miniseries, whatever, of Lord of the Rings. So I don't know if that's...
There is a streaming show that's in the works. There's also an animated thing that's in the works. But from what I'm reading here... The reason Warner Brothers relinquished its rights because they did not get a new film in development by a certain date. That's not unusual. Actually, one of the reasons why Sony made the agreement with Disney and Marvel to include Spider-Man in the MCU stuff is because if Sony did not get a Spider-Man movie in production by a certain date, the rights were going to revert back to Marvel. and they didn't want to lose the rights for nothing. They wanted to keep the rights, but they didn't want to just throw a new Spider-Man movie out there that sucked just to hold on to the rights. So it made more sense for them to make the deal with Disney and Marvel to include Spider-Man in the MCU stuff, and that's how we get Tom Holland's iteration of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. So, but you got to remember, as I'm reading this article, if I'm reading it right, it says, let's see, where was the part that I missed? Okay. According to the reports from Variety, Saul Zantis Company has decided to sell its stake in Tolkien's holdings, which includes many movie, merchandising, gaming, and live-action rights connected to the Lord of the Rings property. So it's not just about the movies. As far as Amazon's concerned, it sounds to me like they want to have a property that they can, I don't want to say exploit because it sounds negative, but they want to have a property that they can hold on to that can be just theirs. Kind of like Stranger Things belongs to Netflix and stuff like that.
My question is, how did this company even get these rights in the first place?
Well, they're sold by whoever owns them. I mean, eventually somebody bought them from Tolkien's estate.
Tolkien estate put the rights up for sale at some point.
Yeah. So, and then whoever buys them has the right to sell them and everything as they want. Now, another thing to remember in that is any other contractual obligations to Tolkien's family still exist, even if the rights move from one person to another. It's kind of like when you buy a company, you're also buying any contracts that company has with other companies.
Right.
So, and I can't imagine anything like that's going to stop the sale from happening. But like I said, it includes the movies, the merchandising, gaming, and live event rights. So what we're going to see eventually is they're going to put a Lord of the Ring games out. That's going to be probably one of these immersive things that it's kind of like, I don't know, not Zelda or something like that. One of these really deep open world games that people play. Something like World of Warcraft. Think World of Warcraft or something like that. Also the merchandising. I mean, there's a ton of merchandising money to be made off Lord of the Rings. But the one that really gets me is the live event rights. That's interesting to me. Because we've seen Harry Potter World at Universal Studios in Florida. We've seen
Star Wars.
We've seen the Star Wars Star Wars thing at Disneyland. I think at some point we're probably going to see, and I couldn't imagine where, they would have to, since Amazon doesn't own any amusement parks
unless they
yet.
They sold or leased out the rights to do that somewhere for a number of years.
They very easily could get a hold of some other place, like whoever owns like a
Dairy Farm or something.
Knott's Berry Farm is one. I don't remember who owns Knott's Berry Farm. But
Legoland.
There is, honestly, you know what? Come to think of it, there is a big deal right now, Jeremy, for the people that own Cedar Point up in Sandusky.
Oh. Don't tell me that.
There is a big deal for somebody to buy all those parks.
Ooh.
I don't remember who's doing it.
I'm just saying, man, if you make a Lord of the Rings land, I'm gonna fucking I don't know what to do myself. Because I haven't been to the Harry Potter land, I haven't been to the Star Wars world. I'm like, damn it, you're gonna throw Lord of the Rings in here too? Like, shit.
That's what's interesting, Jeremy, is that park is owned by the same company that owns the park near us, Kings Island.
Yeah.
So we could very easily see. Now, I don't know if Kings Island would be the place that they would put it. I think it would probably make more sense to put it up at Cedar Point. But we could very easily see at those parks some Lord of the Rings themed stuff. It may be a Lord of the Rings land at Cedar Point, and maybe to a smaller scale, something like that at Kings Island. So,
I just need that. I need that meme of Bilbo where he's like, oh, I'm off on an adventure. I'm like, well, fuck this, guys. I'm getting a second job. I'm doing that. I'm going to go be some elf somewhere in a fucking scene. I don't give a shit. Oh, it'd be so much fun.
But it also does say that Amazon's position as the favorite to buy the Lord of the Ring and Hobbit stuff could drive up the price for other potentially interested studios, such as Warner Brothers. Since WB and New Line worked together on Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies, made billions doing so, it would be odd if they didn't attempt to regain control of the franchise. That makes sense. Warner Brothers might also know that there is no way a Lord of the Rings reboot would be met favorably, which I don't think it would either. So they could elect to sit out of the bidding and let another studio make a potential mistake. Yeah, that makes sense.
Those movies didn't win how many goddamn Oscars for no reason? Like, come on, dude. Do not touch that, please.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys remake the Return of the King game from back on the PS2 days, please reboot that game. God, that was so much fun.
You know what? Give me a second to look at this, because I'm curious now. I kind of blew through this article and didn't give it much... I blew through this article and didn't give it much thought until just now, when Cora brings this up. Let me...
Okay.
Who owns Cedar Point? I'm curious now.
But the same as Kings Island, right?
I'm curious. Cedar Point is owned by the same company that owns Kings Island. I don't know exactly who they're owned by. Though.
Is that still Kings?
They're owned by
Kings something.
They're
right?
owned by Cedar Fair. Is the company that owns them all?
Corey just wrote in the chat. So Amazon will sell the Ring of Mordor.
Maybe.
I love it. No. Jeff Bezos will buy an actual volcano, Frank.
He might. He's got the money.
Volcano.
He's got plenty of money.
He's definitely Sauron. God damn it. This is Ring of Power.
There's nothing on Wikipedia about it, but
Mount St. Helens now becomes Mount Mordor.
We'll go through some of the stuff
visit
they
us
own.
in the state of Washington.
They own California's Great America in Santa Clara, California, which is the amusement park that I grew up going to when I was a kid. I grew up like a half hour from there. They do own Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio. They own Gilroy Gardens in Gilroy, California. I've been there. Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. Me and Jeremy know that one. Michigan's Adventure, which is kind of the same thing. Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California, is owned by them. Also, Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, which, believe it or not, I've actually been there too. And then, of course, a bunch of water parks, some indoor stuff. They own the Star Trek Experience in Nevada. I mean,
nice.
Interesting.
But let's see.
I didn't even know that existed.
There's nothing on the. There's nothing on the Wikipedia site. I gotta try to find it again. I'm trying to find Cedar Point for.
Can you imagine that check? $12 billion.
Yeah,
Nice.
but if I was one of these fucking people in Hollywood like that, I'd be like, that's another Tuesday for us. Fucking maybe a couple Tuesdays, but I'm just saying.
Okay. That would be a grim Tuesday. Get it?
Well, remember the books are right behind me. They're each afflicted with one of the 7 deadly sins, and Tuesdays is actually greed, so it kind of makes sense.
Oh, nice time.
Yeah.
Nice.
The irony of his is that it kind of literally blows up in his face.
Okay,
it's a little too greedy.
This is from October. Okay, so it says Cedar Fair owner of Cedar Point rejects a $4 billion offer from Six Flags.
Okay, but that's Six Flags is something else, though.
But that's interesting, though. I mean, maybe this is kind of all part of the same thing. Like whoever's trying to buy Cedar Fair wants to open up their own
Lord of the Rings world.
Lord of the Rings world. I just realized I hadn't.
Well, fuck, Jeff Bezos can just buy the southern island of New Zealand. Hi, Randy. Turn it into it.
Well, they kind of already did. They kind of already did. You can actually go to where they filmed all this stuff, and there's stuff.
Well, yeah.
It's
still there. Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know. That's interesting. I'll have to go and look some more and find out who's trying to buy Cedar Fair.
It's actually really interesting because I keep trying to find. I've been really wanting Aragorn's ring, that little silver and green jeweled ring that he has. Really cool. Maybe the Even Star, but yeah.
I'm kind of curious from that now because I feel like that. I feel like those two things are correlated.
Because who else, right? Because that's a big company that owns these parks. Like
the timing.
If anyone, and someone who would have that amount of money to do that, who else could it be?
No. Jeff Bezos is going to have Lord of the Rings land on the moon and use his space company to take people up in shuttles. And only certain people will ever get to see it.
Like, all right, Elon, beam me up because I want to go visit the elves. Maybe oh shit, that's what it is. That's like the fucking
new space station after ISS gets decommissioned.
There we go.
No, that's at the end of the movie when they take the ship to the Undying Lands. I'm like, that's where the fuck we're going. We're gonna have Elon Musk walk out of some ship and be like, all right, we're going to the Undying Lands. We're going to fucking. Oh, that's what it is. Oh boy.
Is that Walmart, the Undying Lands?
I think that's I don't know. That could just be Ohio. Who knows?
Oh, SeaWorld has something to do with it too. SeaWorld continues to expand with a $3.4 billion buyout of Cedar Fair. I don't think SeaWorld would do anything with Lord of the Rings.
You never
They're going to
know.
name the next whale Frodo.
Maybe. I think they're just buying
make him carry a ring around in his mouth.
Someone did pose that question once. There was a picture of like who who of these Lord of the Rings characters would be considered worthy to hold Mjolnir? I'm like, oh, without a question, it's Sam. It's Samwise Gamgee. Don't even fight me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, you have Carl Urban's character who was in Thor, which should be hilarious.
Yeah, it was SeaWorld that tried to spend $3.4 billion to buy out Cedar Fair.
That's interesting. Okay.
I don't know. That's interesting to me. I wonder if whoever is going to try to buy Cedar Fair is also going to try to work some stuff out like this. I don't know.
Maybe.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's all pretty interesting. I mean, could we be seeing a Frodo land somewhere? Lord of the Rings land at one of these
we're gonna have
places.
We're gonna have like a little carousel with like ring race and the eagles and shit going in a circle. We're gonna have fucking water slide with, or I don't fucking know. It'll be a lava slide. That'll make more sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
that's interesting though, because like I said, you've got Harry Potter.
It'll be a ring toss, but it'll be the ring.
The gold ring.
Okay, we're sliding down into campy real fast.
I don't know.
Hey, man.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Do you think that a Lord of the Rings world would work in an amusement park? I feel like it probably wouldn't happen close to us, Jeremy. I feel like Kings Island's probably a little too small for that. But Cedar Point's got it. I mean, Cedar Point's got a ton of real estate along the lake. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more you could really do with Kings Island, I don't think. Because, I mean, shit, we had... one of them was sinking into the goddamn ground.
Well, they've got plenty of land out there to deal with. I mean, so it's possible. True. And it's a lot of wooded area back there, so it's not like they couldn't.
Something like that would be huge, though, man. Like, you'd have to... I mean, you think we'd know about it. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's interesting. Go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to end up buying Cedar Fair? Is it going to be the same people that spend $12 billion on the rights to all the stuff for Lord of the Rings? I mean, if you're going to spend $12 billion to get the rights, you may as well spend another $4 billion to get a place to build. Yeah. To build, the Shire. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, if you have enough money to do that, why not?
Yeah. You may as well go ahead and spend the rest and put yourself in a good position and set up your own thing.
If you make like a little shire and have like little taverns and have the meals just like they do in oh my god, I'd lose my fucking mind.
That'd be dope as shit.
Oh, that'd be so much fun. Go in there and just have a pint. Shit.
Hell yeah.
I'd be coming here looking like fucking Aragorn, just in the corner with like the hood up and just sitting there in the corner like this. Just like...
Question is, would the counters be set up so high that you're like a hobbit, or would they be human sized?
Right.
No.
The Hobbit thing would be like for the kids. It'd be like small rooms. Like little small beds. That'd be funny.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Who's buying who, and where are we going to see the Shire get built next? We'll have Drew Carrot there. Whose park is it anyway? Coy Robert says Jeff Bezos will make Jurassic Park. I hope somebody does.
Yeah, probably will. He probably will.
Look, if humanity's got to be destroyed by something, it may as well be by dinosaurs instead of ourselves, right? I mean, at least I get to see a real life T-Rex one time in my life. I mean,
we're already getting destroyed virtually by Amazon's control of everything.
Yeah,
so.
We'd like that, but we'd all be the lawyer on the toilet. Just sitting there and the fucking T-Rex comes in.
I would not. Yeah. I would not be that person. No.
Oh, no, I'm saying that's how it happened. That's how dumb it would be. We'd just be on the toilet and some fucking T-Rex comes in and bites your head off. Like, well, damn.
Anyway, go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think of that and all the stories we've talked about tonight. We had a couple of really cool things that we talked about tonight, and I appreciate having my co-hosts around for all of that stuff. One of them is the Dowager Countess, Lady Cora. Where can the folks find you on the internet?
Nowhere.
Here.
I'm sorry. Yes. Here on Thursdays. And maybe Sundays on Drew's channel.
It may be Sundays on Drew's channel. Go check over on the Derailed News and Podcast. Link to that one in the description below. And how about you, Jeremy? Where can the folks find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter every once in a great while. Whenever something comes up. Yeah. I'll just keep saying Twitch because eventually this goes hand in hand. I'm also on here, obviously, of course, on Thursdays. But now, of course, as you may know, we're also here on this channel on Tuesdays building this Millennium Falcon, which is the huge undertaking, but it's a lot of fun. Because then, like I said, Twitch, we just keep getting more and more news about this Lego Star Wars game, and it's just fan-freaking-tastic. I'm excited for it. I mean, looking at this thing, though, I mean, it may overlap, and hey, that's just fine, whatever. I mean, we may still be building it when the game comes out, who knows? But that's still, again, it's a nice tie-in, whether we get done before then or not. So come check that out. We'll start playing through that game. I think we just heard... We've been hearing 300 plus characters that are playable. Now, apparently, they came out and said we, quote, had trouble trying to keep it under 400. I'm like, holy hell. Woo! And they said it took like 14 to 16 hours to play the game, but if you want to see everything, it takes closer to like 50. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a big fucking game. You know, a lot of content, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be exploring the galaxy when that comes around.
Find him across all platforms as Grim Tuesday 23. Go bother him on Twitter. Go bother him on Twitch, Facebook. I don't know. Just go bother him. Just go have fun. If you're going to bother somebody, bother Jeremy.
Boy, Jeremy. Yes.
Also, I do want to say again, it's a killer job you guys are doing on Tuesday nights, putting together Falcon, the conversation you guys are having. It was nice to see Zach out there. Zach's one of the people I'd really have to get more involved, but he's always busy doing Zach stuff. But Zach has always got an open invitation to come and hang out with us and bullshit about all things entertainment and fun whenever he wants. He knows that.
And hey, you're more than welcome to come over here and build the Falcon one or two of these times.
As I was watching you guys Tuesday, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I need to try to pop over there for Tuesday. Somebody did ask. I don't know if you caught him in the chat the other day or not. Somebody asked if you were gluing the pieces together.
I didn't catch that. No. Trust me, that crossed my mind. But then when you reiterated that there were 7,500 fucking pieces, I'm not doing that. So sorry. Trust me, I thought about it. It would make sense, but this would take probably a whole year to do if I was sitting there gluing every single piece. So no, it's going to be held together with a hope and prayer. It's like the actual Falcon. So look, it makes more sense. I'm just saying. I love that little thing when he runs in, turns on, it turns off. He just turns on, smacks it, and it turns back on. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, he's gonna get it built up, and he's gonna encase it in carbonite so that nobody can drop it.
Yeah, that's my display of it. It's just in a big carbonite thing. Yeah,
hanging up there on the wall with that really funny look in his face, like.
Right.
I always thought that was hilarious. But yes, go check Rachel out as well. I don't want to forget her. She's doing a killer job as part of that whole Tuesday thing you guys are doing. As for me, you guys can check me out here on Thursdays talking about all the stuff going on in the world of entertainment and stuff like that. As well as on Sundays over on the Derailed News and Podcast talking about all the crazy stuff that goes on in the world outside of entertainment. That's where you hear me say all the really interesting, fun stuff that's probably going to piss a lot of people off.
You? Yeah. Never.
Me? Never.
Never. He's just a hoot. Come on.
Especially if I've had a few of these. If I've had one too many of these, oh yeah, my thoughts just flow.
I haven't drank the last couple of
You and I have a lot of fun over there sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, we do. I said it 100 times that my favorite version of Cora is that passionate bitch with the fire in her eyes. I love that girl. She's so fun. Love her.
Yeah, Jeremy this last Sunday actually told someone to shut the fuck up on the call.
I believe it. I really believe it.
When Cora gets fiery, man, it's a great thing to see. I know she sometimes thinks that people don't like it, but every time it happens, it's like people go, ooh, this is it. We're just waiting.
It's getting good.
I love to see her tear somebody up. It's fun. But and also, don't forget, me and Cora have some Downton Abbey stuff that's going to be coming up over the course of the next few months in the lead up to the release of Downton Abbey: A New Era. I know Jeremy's mom is in the chat. There's BJ Wolner right there. Hello, Mom. How's it going? Glad you could come in and hang out with us. We hope we didn't keep you too late. But we're not going to be doing that stuff live. It'll probably be stuff that's pre-recorded and then premiered. So one or both of us.
Did you hear about the news about Camilla today?
She is going to be Queen Consort.
Yes.
Whatever. I still think that when the Queen passes away, hopefully no time soon, that
you just skip him and go straight to William.
It's probably going to go straight to William. That's my guess, because I think that it was probably part of the deal to let Charles marry Camilla in the first place. It just hasn't been released publicly yet, and on top of that, I think she wants England to be ruled by another long-serving sovereign and not her son, who, let's face it, he's going to be 80-something by the time he takes the throne. I think she wants to make sure William's in place for a long, long time. And I think Charles probably wants that, too. I think that's a better legacy for him. That's just me.
I agree with you.
I don't know. We could talk about all that stuff when we start going into all the Downton Abbey stuff.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for all being here. A couple of new subscribers tonight. Hulk Smash, Casey is Raw, subscribed again. Olga Green and deactivated. Thank you guys for all. Thank you and all those other ones, all the other people that have subscribed and for some reason didn't pop up on the feed, or just choose to remain anonymous when you subscribe. That's thanks to all of you. And don't forget, you guys can see it down there. I never know which way to point. In the corner down there, you can see, once we get to 500 subs, there is going to be a charity stream. I'm thinking I might, we get to 500, any donation or whatever that comes in that day, all that money will get sent to a charity. I'm thinking probably something like the Abandoned Pet Project. It's a charity that I really, really like. It helps out a lot of pets, and it makes sense right now because there's a lot of pets that are just being abandoned and stuff because all these people that bought pets for companionship during the pandemic, now that we're kind of coming out from that little by little, these people are all getting out again. They're forgetting all these pets. These pets are being abandoned. They're being sent back into shelters. This helps to keep those pets healthy and get them adopted out to families that want to deal with them. So that's kind of the charity that I'm thinking of right now. Talk that talk, get a news and opinion. What's going on, Heist Man? Good to see you in here, my brother. Go check him out as well. His link is in the description below. He puts out news stories every day about all kinds of funny shit that happens. And he has his big thing on Friday nights. I like to go in there and listen to him when I'm driving around doing my stuff at work. So thanks again, guys, for coming in and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. Adios.